You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Hey guys, looks like your free ride's over, huh? Have fun living on the streets.
Okay, cool. Good chatting, you guys.
Waiting for the button to work. Okay, well, let's just assume we heard clapping. Yay! We're at episode 44 of the Weekly Rogues Gallery. I'm your host, Iron Oxide, and we are joined here by our very special guest making a grand return to the show, JackTarLad. It has been a long time, man. How's it going?
It has been a minute, yeah. I mean, I often watch in the background, you know, like because I have to go to sleep early, quite regularly nowadays. So I kind of put it on, fall asleep to it. You know, you guys are in the background. I can't sit there chatting all fucking night because I'm trying to sleep, obviously. But yeah, I'm doing all right. You know, I've been taking a bit of a hiatus from streaming, but I'm coming back next week, and so I thought I'd do this stream as a nice sort of ease myself back into it. You know, just get the tip in. And then go full length next week again.
Just a tip, nice and gentle, slow and steady, nice.
And then,
well, it's great having you back, man.
A freight train next week.
Exactly. Then go hard. But it is good having you back, and we're joined here by some pretty familiar faces. Strider, how's your week treating you, man?
Doing pretty good. I got a 4-day weekend with MLK Day / Inauguration Day. So that was pretty awesome. Then I got a snow day, so I got some fun pictures. So it's a once in a generation snowstorm. Well, it wasn't really a snowstorm. I only got maybe 2 to 4 inches, but it was great. I got to be outside with a lot of my neighbors who I didn't know. Played snowball catch with some people.
You sound like a kid right now.
No, it was no, it was great. It felt like I was in one of those old movies. Pretty much the entire neighborhood was outside on the bayou sledding and saying hi to each other. It's like, man, I feel like I'm in a 50s movie. This is great.
Okay, see, when you were first telling that story, I just pictured you walking out of your house and all of your neighbors just hurling snowballs at you for no reason.
Like ice balls.
Been waiting this whole life for this moment.
I've been dreaming about this my entire life.
Is this your first time seeing snow?
No,
in your life.
I lived in Oklahoma for a while, and we get snow all the time up there. But down in Houston, this is the second time I've seen snow here. The first time was actually on my 31st birthday. It was a massive ice storm that rolled in, and I didn't have power for 2 days, and it was freezing cold. So that was fun. But this was way more fun. My power stayed on. I stayed warm and toasty, and I got to walk outside and smoke my pipe and look like an old man.
All right. I can dig it. Yeah, it's going to be a while before we see storm. I was actually here the last time, I think it was close to 2 decades ago, that we actually had bad enough snow that it actually stopped some of the outgoing flights, which was kind of a big deal for Vegas. And that was pretty much the last time that ever happened. So it's been a minute, and I doubt we're going to get that anytime soon. So, Society, how's it going?
I've had better weeks. No, actually, for me, it's been going great. This week started off. We did a big ballroom, and it's weird how I think like the last 3 weeks now, our conversation has like encased the world of wrestling, which is weird because like I try to stay away from wrestling for the most part, but for some reason the last couple of weeks I've just angered so many people in the WWE locker room with some of my comments, and it's like, well, when you apply to it, we're gonna have something to talk about here. And then lo and behold, I thought, okay, well, 3 weeks in a row we're done with wrestling, I ain't talking about it here next week, and then something else happens, and then we'll talk about that here in a minute.
I am really looking forward to hearing all about this. I've been kind of watching the developments on X as they happen, so be kind of
a lot of angry people out there. It's like, what are you guys so upset about
on the internet?
Yeah, why? I don't know why you bring that out in people's society.
I've never seen one angry person ever on the internet. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then fuck you.
Exactly.
Perfect place of kind discourse. Speaking of kind discourse, Vaughn Coleman, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. I guess a lot, but also same old. I got another convention this weekend, which is great. Last one was good. I actually, turns out when you leave your house, you could actually meet potential customers. Instead, also in addition to being
funny how that works.
But it's great. So I've had that. We've been chugging along with issue 2. I launched on Indiegogo if people prefer that, but it seems like most people prefer Fun My Comic. But my channel's been growing. I passed 1,500 subscribers. It only took me 11 years.
You had to come of age first.
Yeah. Well, go to my channel. You can still hear my squeaky voice old videos. I'm not even kidding. It's been great. So that's what I've been up to.
Right on. And how's issue 2 doing?
It's lettered. I just have to get it. The stuff my mom was like, people, when you show your mom stuff, then normally the thing is, oh, they'll love it. My mom will give me a bunch of notes, like fix this. So I'm afraid to do lettering revisions. And my mom's like, nope, I need to see it. I'm like, okay. She's like, I got to make sure the grammar's perfect. I'm like, I have an editor for that. Doesn't matter.
Well,
all the mom. And then
so your mom's editing the editor,
I guess. So well, it's lettered. We expect a fast turnaround time. We just got to make sure it's funded, and it is. But the more we get, the more we could do. So
right on, man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So Vagabond, how's your week been going, man?
All right, just giving my heart out to my fellow Gooners out there. You know,
I've been gooning like crazy this week. How can I forget?
I was
My
gonna
heart
do
goes
that, but I
out
thought
to
that I don't want to
you.
get demonetized.
yeah, my
That's a gooning sound.
yeah. So all my fellow gooners and gooners out there, just gooning around.
Awesome.
Invading Poland, annexing Czechoslovakia, all that.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I haven't been doing too much. I was on the For the Homies podcast yesterday. I forgot what we were even talking about. Honestly, we were talking about so many different topics going on. Right now I'm just watching the Lewis Rossman. Been watching Lewis Rossman talk about Linus Tech Tips, and I don't know what the honey controversy wrote that.
I kind of been following that a little bit. I'm not really surprised about after everything with Recreated, nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
wait, something happened.
Yeah, we got developments.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait till we talk about.
Well, I mean, clearly he's a lawyer, so I'm pretty sure he got off with no true punishment whatsoever, right?
We'll probably we'll lead off with that. Get the real big mudslinging out of the way early on. Before we do, ScreamQueenSelena, how's everything going with you?
You know.
I know, but they don't. So pretend like you're talking to them and not me.
Pretend like you're not in the other room.
Okay. It's been a stressful month, so I can't wait till it's over. Except for yay, Trump's president. So yay, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't wait till it's over. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here with you guys, and let's say hi to the chat.
Awesome. Thank you for reminding me. I would have forgot, honestly. So let's take a quick look at who all we got in the chat.
It's nice not having producer duties being on this show.
I bet it is.
Yeah, I think I was nasty.
We got Tommy. Hey, man. That's real good seeing you. Definitely go subscribe to his channel. I love his shows.
Absolutely.
We got Jason Clinton. What's going on, dude? Who else do we got? We've got, that's Jason again. Let's see. We got Master Hobo. Greetings, fellow gooners from the homeless shelter. I'm ready to goon all over this stream.
That's exactly.
Well, you can goon anywhere you like, Master Hobo. We welcome it. All right. Let's see who else we got. There we go.
We're the best looking
Diana
people he
Gordon-Near,
sees
what's
all
going
week.
on? From the homeless shelter, I would hope so.
We've got all of our tea.
You know, I'm old enough to remember that when the word goon had like a negative connotation, like it was like a guy from a criminal organization who would beat the crap out of you, and that's kind of like his whole job.
That was a cooler version of the word.
Pin you down on the bed. That's a
Exactly.
different now.
The 40s.
It's like when you're having a problem with somebody, you gotta get a couple of your goon friends out to like rough them up.
Dude, one time, dude, oh my god, dude. All right, I just thought of a new comic idea, the Goon Wars. So it's people fighting in a post-apocalyptic future. Gooning has been outlawed, and now they're fighting over a porn stash in a post-apocalyptic hellscape. Like, that's my gooning material. No!
Or the last known copy of the original PlayStation Dead or Alive.
It'll be like Tomb Raider. No, it's even funnier. It's like Tomb Raider,
underground
like
bunker.
Tomb Raider like game.
Make it
like,
super.
Someone burns it. It's like the burning of the Library of Alexandria. It's like no.
Make it super meta, and then have the final boss be like a former hockey player in a mask.
It's like Equilibrium, except not terrible.
Yeah,
Blue-eyed Scorpio. What's going on, man?
Or
we got
just as
Battsauce.
terrible.
Hopefully, he'll be joining us pretty soon. What's going on, Battsauce? And I think that's everybody for now. But as more people tune in, we'll say hi as we get going. So let's go ahead and start
When
off
people
with
goon in, is that what you said?
when they goon in, we will goon out.
Goon in,
So
goon
we
out.
go ahead and pull this up. This
Drop
is
in,
from
drop out.
Nate the lawyer who posted this earlier. So these are the
Oh,
new
we're doing
developments.
rackets first, are we? Okay,
We're gonna
here
go.
we go.
We're gonna go right on into
Where's my
the
camera
rackets.
still on? Oh, Jack, you and I are gonna have to
Boss
bundle
is
there.
Melania Mick.
Jack and I get into this subject a lot.
To be fair, you know, cocaine abusing 7-year-olds is a little bit more important than my topic for now. So we'll start with the
I figured we'd get the heavier stuff out of the way first. So
yeah.
I love the endless fucking rackets. I have no
What up,
idea
BS
how
Warren?
my kid tested positive for cocaine, and besides the fact that I had like a metric ton in my house at any given time, like fuck off. Like, how could that possibly happen?
Hey, I just dropped the kid off at daycare. He came back high on cocaine. It's not my fault.
How could you possibly test positive? I wonder.
Well, no, shocked as you guys were.
Apparently, those tests can come back, fake positive all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Of course,
yeah, 8-year-olds just test false positive all the time.
maybe she got a little bit on her hair or something like that because of the exposure, even though that's not how they test hair follicle. Hair follicle testing.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You do know that he claims that he has video footage of one of the police officers touching his daughter's hair, and that's how it happened.
Oh,
that's not how they do tests.
To quote Kino Casino, release the body cam footage, Nick. Release the body cam, Takeda.
See, what happened was the police officer rubbed fentanyl in his hand and then slapped my daughter upside the head. That's what she did to positive.
Then he slapped me on the
He's
ass.
such a degenerate,
Surfer.
So apparently there's not going to be a trial. He's pled guilty, and he's putting himself at the mercy of the court to save the to save his wife and his side piece.
Yeah,
So-
Lady Rackets and the
How
concubine.
virtuous. Right.
Concubine, I love it.
Concubine.
That's called
And
it.
let's see. Take a
So
look
speaking
here.
of concubines, how did you get the images of my concubines for the thumbnail?
I just put in Mid-Journey generate Jack with Jack's bitches, and that's what happened.
It's identical. Do you want to say? Do you want to say hello, ladies? What? No, I'm just kidding. Keep sucking. The camera's on the whole time.
We got a
huh?
full panel. It's fine. So he's pled guilty to felony drug possession in the 3rd degree. All other charges will be dropped. Kayla and April will have their charges dismissed. This carries a maximum sentence of 20 years and a $250,000 fine, which can be avoided with probation, which I'm going to go ahead. Everybody can chime in, but my initial thoughts are is if he made this plea deal, he's probably not going to be looking at any jail time. So everybody can, in my opinion, can kind of put that,
Hey, man,
idea
you never
out
know.
the
We could be
window.
looking at a Con Air situation here.
You think so?
Why did you drop that?
Well, what do you
bomb?
got? What are your guys' thoughts on the this judgment, and what's your predictions of the sentencing that's I think going to happen in a few months? I believe April.
Yeah,
is what it said?
April, which is a bit ironic, isn't it?
That's hilarious.
It's very. They always want to put it in April.
I think they're just.
My soundboard's not working.
Oh shoot! I think they're just going to give probation. I don't know. Did the child endangerment charges drop too, or that's still on the table?
Yeah, no, everything's being dropped from what I saw here. That's what he's pleading to. So the conditions of the plea deal is everything else is dropped. He's getting that. So that's what he's going to be sentenced for.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Jack,
Well,
you went over it quite a bit, right? Like, what did you get from like the initial paperwork there?
There's a lot of fucking mistakes in it. Like, he's ticked multiple boxes on the same rows, if you get what I mean. So, like, all throughout the document, there are, like, it gives you, like, sort of multiple choice so that you can either choose I did or I did not. And there are certain lines where he's actually ticked both of them on the same fucking line. So, I'm a bit dubious as whether or not this is going to be accepted or whether he's going to argue the toss after fucking conviction, or I'm a bit dubious about that. But I mean, as you know, we as you said, I skipped over it quite quickly, and I completely missed the writing there that said that Kayla and April were going to have their sentences quashed, or that they were going to have their charges quashed, I should say. What do I think about it? I think that all this time he's been talking about I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and now he's completely pled guilty to it. So yeah, that guilty. We all knew he was guilty anyway, because we've been watching the whole thing unfold, and he's been coping and seething as much as humanly possible to all of his fans just to continue the grift. But no, now he's had to.
But hey, now we can call him legally guilty streamer. So there you go.
Yep. And he's kept up the record of 0 wins in court. So
yeah.
It is real. It's still pretty sad to see, just considering from it doesn't seem like that long ago that Nick Recato was a completely different. Obviously was not the real Nick that we all kind of enjoyed watching. But
the thing is, it was the real Nick. We just didn't know it.
We just didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I mean, ketamine. Ketamine's an even worse.
Yeah, he was
drug.
on ketamine too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't he doing?
Allegedly?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Isn't he also doing like huffing paint thinner or something? Or
allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
I mean, I think it's kind of confirmed now. I don't think we have to say allegedly anymore.
I mean, I guess that last part, the whippets part. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. So
yeah, that may be a rumor. Kind of started from the whole steel toe guy, which I can't stand that guy either.
I know.
Not steel toe. It came from Keanu, but
not steel toe, camel toe. Okay.
Right. Yeah, so he's probably going to get
I don't like Keanu, but I don't think I don't know. She's not.
I've got nothing against Keanu.
Yeah, she's definitely. I think she has more. She has more reliable information than Steel. We can probably rely on her stuff more than Steel Toe or Nick.
I'm kind of glad I never watched Nick. I never had anything against him. I just never did, and seems like I missed the fall from grace. So I was bullet dodged.
Yeah.
Speaking of bullet dodged, does this mean that the charge of owning ammunition while in possession of illegal drugs has been quashed also? Because I didn't pick that up from the documents.
Oh well, they probably have. I mean, it was there, but it's not like he was committing crime with them or whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's still a felony, isn't it? To own ammunition or to own guns while in possession of the drugs themselves, or under the use of the drugs. That's also a felony.
Usually, officers will like attack that on there or whatever. But I think with the plea deal, it's most likely he's going to. He might not be able to buy anything new, but he just keeps whatever he has, and then they're just probably going to do like regular checks, like for his probation. Like, so he probably won't do jail time, but for probation, he's like, okay, we're going to do like random drug tests every now and then with his probation.
But he is going to fail.
Yeah.
That was my thing. Like, yeah, he may be avoiding jail time, but probation, nah, he's going to ruin that immediately because the guy's an addict.
Well, he's a convicted felon now.
Yeah.
So he can never own a gun again.
Yeah, he would have to. My understanding is he would have to get rid of all of his firearms, which I don't agree with the whole, that whole thing.
Yeah, depends.
I've become a lot more advocate for that.
The way that it's enforced, because obviously it can be used nefariously, but I think this is one of those instances where, given everything else is going on in his life, it's probably for the best, because he's shown that he's just not responsible with the things that are in his house as it begins with. So I mean,
can't even keep his kitchen clean. Jesus.
Yeah.
Can't keep his kids out of the cocaine. I mean, jeez.
Despite the fact that left around.
I said until you eat your meatloaf and SpaghettiOs.
How did this happen? How did you get a hold of the 8-ball that I had laying around in a pan?
I maintain this, right? Maybe Rackets is right. Maybe he had no knowledge that is she 7 or 9 or whatever? Maybe he had no knowledge that she was dipping into his cocaine like fucking sherbet dip. You know what I mean? Every now and again, whilst his back was turned, just dipping in there, rubbing it on her gums, that sort of thing. She liked the sensation of it. It made her mate feel numb. Who knows? But that's what I think was happening. the drug test was not because there was like powdered sugar in a fucking hair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with that. That's not how it works. They test for metabolites, not for direct cocaine on the hair. It's not that. That's not how it works. They test for metabolites. Okay, so if they found metabolites in the hair and it was enough to be like consistent usage, which is what they reported, then that's what was happening. The kid was taking it on the reg.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the R&B singer Bobby Brown? Anyway, guys,
Yes.
ring a bell. So if you guys heard the story about what happened to him in his youth, right? Like his mother was a drug dealer, basically well-known drug dealer, who used to stash the cocaine in the freezer in his house, right? So of course he was a drug dealer, irresponsible, left him home alone one night, and then he ended up finding the bag of cocaine, which at the time he thought was flour, and proceeded to cook fried chicken with the cocaine, and he ended up consuming cocaine fried chicken as a young adult, which probably led to his long list of drug problems in his adult years too as well. But like I said, this is the type of things that happen in completely irresponsible households where the parents.
Now, that's a restaurant I want to go to. Cocaine fried chicken.
I was gonna say, did he put out a cookbook?
That sounds like some good ass fried chicken.
Right.
11 different.
Imagine Chick-fil-A, but it's cocaine.
Ketamine.
Yummy.
Coke filane. No.
He thought the drive-thru was bad now.
Well, drive is gonna be Speedy Gonzalez now. It's gonna be going a mile an hour.
Well, here's my take on maybe how she probably got in there. If it's like if she was getting it regularly, okay, maybe when like Nick and them are out of the house, and then it's like the same thing when I was younger, and I'm like, okay, it's cool to drink alcohol, but I'm not allowed to right now. So I didn't do like my older brother. He would like fill the vodka back up with some water, water it down to make it like I was never, something like that. Okay, parents gone. Let me get into their stash or something. That's probably what happened. Like, I mean, if the kids have seen them using it, who knows?
So you're saying this kid got so hooked and good at taking cocaine, she was cutting their stash when they weren't looking.
Who knows? If you're like, okay,
whenever the kid is making a drink.
Wow. Yeah, the ketamine wasn't actually Rackets'. It was the kids. She'd like that. Cocaine was just the gateway drug.
She was adding flour to their stash or whatever. Like, okay.
Style. They really need a better.
No, but I mean, so the just going back to who said it now in the chat? Blue-eyed Scorpio just said it in the chat. Going back to that just quickly, when they actually do the tests, they take like strong precautions over contaminants, so they actually wash the hair in solvents first to remove any contaminants that could be actually on the hair, and then they break the hair down using enzymes and stuff like that. Right now, unless that kid was taking a different kind of like prescription drug that could give a false positive, maybe. I can't rule that out because I don't know what the kid was taking or what prescription medication they might be on. But from what I've sort of researched, there aren't many things that are prescription drugs that kids take that can give the same metabolites as what cocaine does when you ingest it. So,
remember the initial police report, didn't they say the house was disarrayed? So who knows what was left out in sight or anything that the kids had access to or whatever, right? And was she the youngest? I don't remember. So maybe the older ones kind of knew better not to touch it, and being the younger one more naive. I mean, we're all just speculating here because we don't know. But but the whole. Like what I remember is the whole house was in disarray. So who knows what mess and whatever they left out that was easy access or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's using directly feeding it to her like with like a spoonful of sugar, but she definitely got a hold of it because of his negligence.
To be fair, I think that's what
coming
everyone.
up to him. He's like, "Hey, Dad, can you just give us a bump?"
Any more
You know
than
what I mean? I'm just.
To be fair, I think
No,
most
Aaron,
people.
Aaron was saying that Nick had this whole presentation of why cocaine is actually good for you, and like had a whole PowerPoint that he prepared. And
Yeah, homeopathic.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility for him to be like maybe secretly dosing his kid because he thinks it's medicine. It's entirely possible, but it's hard for me to believe that someone would be that crazy. But then again, I haven't done cocaine. I don't know. But it's just what's hilarious that he's just. I have no idea how my daughter got contaminated with cocaine. I have no idea how this tested positive, despite the fact that I got caught with an 8-ball.
You
in my
just
mouth.
have it all over the house.
I mean,
Right.
it's just by. I mean, it is not.
I don't know how she got it. I've been looking for it myself. How she gets it?
That's where it went. Damn it, kid.
To answer your question, Jay Frazier, I believe he has lost his license.
Yeah, that was a rumor going
was a while
around.
back.
I don't know if that's been 100% confirmed, but
I think he.
Well,
I think he
as
lost-
a convicted
I think he
felon,
lost-
I don't think he's allowed to actually
No.
practice law anymore, is he?
It's not.
I
No,
think what
yeah.
it was he didn't renew his practice license or something like that. He just didn't renew it. Apparently, he's got to take a fucking test or something like that. I don't know. Maybe something to do with the bar in Minnesota. But now he definitely won't be able to practice law again.
We found out later he never
Yeah.
really. We found out actually. Well, at least I found out, and this may have been common knowledge, but I didn't know that he hadn't really had. I mean, he had a practice, but he hadn't actually practiced law at all. Barely spent any time in a courtroom, but he's barely spent any time with clients. Like a few of them, but it stands to
That's why
reason
he
why
lost
all
so many times.
Exactly. That's why he lost so many, because he's not actually a good lawyer. He's just a famous dude who has a law degree that people immediately think that he knows his stuff because he has a law degree and he speaks with some level of believable intelligence on a very niche topic that not a lot of people probably could call him out on for being untrue. But I mean, he did pass the bar. He did go to law school, whatever that was, University of American Samoa, a la Saul Goodman. But I mean, he is clearly intelligent enough to do that, but it just shows you that intelligence does not equate to conviction, because again, you leave your drugs out, kids are going to get into it somehow. I have no idea how that happened.
Intelligence is not the ability to retain information. It's the ability to adapt to the information, adapt your life using the information. And so just because he can remember facts and he can remember what's in a textbook doesn't mean that he's intelligent. It just means he's got a good memory.
At least
but I just want to answer what Hobo's asking. Am I a lawyer? No, but you don't have to be a lawyer to read the law.
right. And you really hit the nail on the head with that. It is just he just is reciting common sense statements based on the information that he has memorized. A lot of this stuff. Oh, Rekieta predicted it with Johnny Depp. Everybody did, or with Kyle Rittenhouse. Everybody did. The only people that weren't were the people that didn't want them to win.
No one's saying that he doesn't know certain things about being a lawyer and certain things about the law. Of course he does, yeah. But certain things he's also getting wrong. And especially when he's being advised by people like Viva Fry and what's his name, Robert Barnes, about all these constitutional things. How's that going now, Barnesy? Yeah, all this constitutional lawyer shit. He's pled guilty now. So how's he going to argue his fucking way out of this one? He's going to take this to the Supreme Court now, is he, Barnes?
What happened?
I mean, you can argue it pretty easily. Just say if I didn't plead guilty, I'd be spending 20 years in jail. So I pled guilty and I got a plea.
Yeah. Did the paper show what was the plea deal or anything like that, or none of that mentioned on there?
I don't think we have that just yet.
No, from what I saw though, it does appear that all the charges other than that against him were dropped, and then all the charges against Kayla and April were dismissed.
He fell on his sword like crazy, and
so
that doesn't help because it now gives him an overinflated ego and it's like a sense of nobility that he hasn't earned, because he fell on his sword to protect Kayla and his and their side piece from any and all reprisal.
Hey, the nanny. She was a nanny, paid employee.
Hang on, Strider, are you wearing glasses to distance yourself? Because you do look a lot like him when you take off the glasses.
Well, it's my Clark. It's my Clark.
Oh my God, it's Nick Ricciardi.
Oh my God, why is my camera still on? You know, I that's the only quote I know from him now. That's the only one I remember. It's just so iconic.
But to answer JackTarLad's question earlier, I did kind of look it up. I don't know if it's exactly all right, but so basically, if for his firearms, I guess he has multiple options he can do. If it's like is it going to be considered a felony on him? He can give his guns away to someone that's legally able to possess them. He can have the police take them. They're not going to give him any compensation for them, but they would take them and either destroy them or auction them off or whatever. Probably. Or like I say, he can give them to someone else that can possess them to go sell them on his behalf. So, and again, I don't know. That's just what I just quick Google search, so I'm not sure if that's exactly all right. But
yeah, I have a felon in my family, so and
and the other option is just say you don't have them anymore. You know, and I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my advice.
One of the things that I just wanted to point out about the sentencing is that the judge does not have to accept the plea deal.
Right.
That's true.
Now, the judge will have heard all of the evidence that the prosecution has, right?
Yeah, that they presented.
And so, if the judge believes that there was significant neglect or whatever, there was other mitigating circumstances that, like, just makes them not want to accept this plea deal, they could turn around and say, "Well, I'm not accepting the plea deal, so I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in the jail." And
right.
Well,
someone mentioned still that he could get 20, and then
but he could get a maximum of 25.
Yeah,
they could throw the max at him. That's just it's really unlikely with a plea deal, unless the judge is just like
no previous convictions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know someone that happened to where
someone off.
I know a case where someone stabs someone else and they end up dying, and then the family agreed to hey, if they say they're guilty, they'll get them, they'll do 15 years, but the judge ended up giving them 20. Wow. Even after the so it's all the judge can make changes or further description on their own after the whole deal or whatever.
Yeah. Or the judge could accept the plea deal wholeheartedly, or maybe could he do a hybrid, maybe like jail time and lots of probation, or maybe just all probation but it's more strict? I don't know how that would work. How would
Master Hobo brings up a
it'll
good
depend on
point.
the judge.
Would you guys can I ask you a question? So for the hypothetical, if you were to really make a stupid decision, the hypothetical Battsauce v. Vaughn Coleman court case, you guys would side with me, right?
You're as guilty as sin. You crashed into his car. You smashed that fucking car up, and you are as guilty as sin. If you were in my court, good sir, I would give you life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
All right, so
depends on when the check clears. That's my answer.
Honestly, I know how it is to get where someone crashes into you, so I might be siding with Battsauce.
Crash into me.
All right, so I'm going to countersue with defamation against Battsauce.
There you go.
Mercado as your lawyer. Good luck.
Oh,
but
God,
you better have
I'll represent myself. I'll represent myself. Don't even worry about it.
You did such a great job with Vic Mignogna.
I'll represent. Did he do that? I didn't see that.
Yes.
That's how little I know about Mercado.
No, he was Vic's lawyer for his countersuit. That's why he botched it so badly.
Well,
which I feel so bad for Vic.
He didn't actually represent him. He
Not exactly.
Put him up with a lawyer who didn't do a very good job.
No,
right.
He was like he was a not probate. Wasn't he a probate lawyer? Wasn't he even a defamation lawyer?
No, he was not a defamation
estate
lawyer.
or something. Yeah.
It's
like,
was it Law and Lumber?
No,
Law and Lumber. No,
it was a really bad
what was his
job.
name?
He should have had Nate the lawyer the whole time. That's all I had to say.
I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah.
Because he was also the that lawyer.
Yeah, Ty Beard.
That's
Ty
right.
Beard.
That lawyer
his
was
name.
also because he was also the guy who oversaw like the probate case for Nick's grandfather, wasn't he? Like his signatures on the his signatures on the paperwork for the distribution of his late grandfather's estate to the heirs. Like that's really weird. Why would you do that?
Who knows?
Because Nick's not going to get a kickback. Ty's going to get all the money. Ty's going to get paid in legal fees, and Nick's not going to get anything from that. So I don't know. Maybe that was.
So I have a quick question. Like before, I guess we move on to the next. Who thinks that he's going to become like the old Nick and do his shows and become like everyone will just forget it, or like who thinks the opposite side of like no, even if he gets jail time, will he ever be the Nick that we know, or what do you think?
Well,
I personally, if I can just quickly interject, I think he's already started to try to angle towards something. He's been talking about doing like cooking streams and stuff like that out of that filthy fucking kitchen.
Well, I think he was.
It looks like he's cooking grime on dirty plates in a dirty sink.
Well, wasn't he just recently on Camelot stream?
Yeah.
That was a shit
Going
show.
off
Though.
his tattoo.
Yeah, so here's what I think. I think he's gonna probably align himself more with Buster Baxter and rely on super chats, and maybe talk about certain. He's probably gonna stoop down to their levels, talk down about other creators in their space that are actually producing material on time, and just
what kind of asshole would do that?
Yeah, and then but yeah, just pretty much grift for super chats on hating drama.
All right,
he's gonna go full Ethan Routh. That's my opinion. Just complete down that dark path, and I don't think there's any turnaround. If he was really gonna turn it around, he had the wake up call. The moment of clarity had to be getting arrested. That should have been his, losing everything or about to lose everything moment. And get your fucking ass to rehab.
Which he hasn't done.
Interesting question, regarding Cole. Are you allowed to earn money whilst you're on death row for attempted murder?
You know what? That's it.
Well, somebody's been there.
Well, he tried to kill Battsauce, didn't he, by crashing into his car?
That is not true.
Yeah,
it's true.
That is not true. Battsauce was a paying customer who suffered an unfortunate accident that was completely unrelated.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, sure.
Very unfortunate. I respect my paying customers. I would never.
First of all, it was not unfortunate. That was a lie. Second of all,
well deserved. Yeah, and James Caan was just driving by a toll booth randomly one day and happened to suffer a fatal accident with hundreds and hundreds of 9mm.
Well, that was in a Tommy gun. Listen.
Well, I think to answer Jack's question, I think like Tookie Williams had his children's book before he was executed.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, Tookie Williams had a line of children's books that were being sold, and then he also had another book about he still claimed he was not guilty. That's when California had the governor, I'm
not saving the criminal. He's gonna die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Vaughn, you can start a whole new brand, DRC, Death Row Comic.
Yeah,
there you go.
That'd be I think my sales. I'd be like, this is collectors, the signed copies, collectors items, because there's not going to be any more after this.
Yeah, you want to get them. You want to get them whilst they're hot.
The price will go up after tonight.
Yeah.
Well, also too, one of my favorite rappers who got out 4 or 5 years ago, but he's been locked up for murder since '93 or so.
Sure.
X-rated.
Oh shit.
Yeah, basically he was using his phone calls to make rap albums, and so he was still making music. Yeah,
Shine did that once. He was literally calling collect and recording his verses over a payphone.
Yeah, so if you listen to X-Rated's music when he got locked up, if you remember like Brother Lynch and Tech Nine and them, you would hear like the quality of the sound wasn't good, exactly that good. but we still listened to it because he had good flow. But yeah, he got a murder conviction, and so but he's out now.
Call 1-800 numbers in the 90s. Mom, can you come call from? Mom, can you come pick me up at 7 p.m.? Click.
Well, the guards, the other thing, the guards made a note that they didn't know how he was doing it while he was in there. So that's a whole another can of worms that you can go into, but
not applicable to me at all. Applicable to me at all with Margaret Show.
No,
You know,
of course not.
I'll never face prison time. For especially anything that that complete little hack would
check your white privilege, Vaughn.
Battsauce, of course,
and a gun.
Battsauce, of course, notoriously not a white man.
What that bus?
Neither am I. I'm a black woman.
Wait, if anything, he could probably be like, I'm a short bus survivor. I'm a victim. I'm a short bus veteran.
That was a pretty good impression, I gotta say.
And if you want to support Battsauce's legal fund, as he is trying to raise money to fight Vaughn Coleman at the moment, you can go to his OnlyFans page, OnlyFans/Battsauce.
You know, I haven't checked on his GoFundMe in a long time. I think it's still only got $5.
Should we do it?
Damn it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Battsauce, if you're in the link in the chat, put the link in there. I need to see that.
Yeah,
make sure I got you modded.
Let's compare it to how well Phenomenal issue 2 is going. I'm sure there's no.
Oh, look what he says. Look what he says. I'm Sicilian, damn you.
Right?
It's just an off-brand bobbity boopy.
Oh, so your ancestors are probably black then?
I don't know. Black people claim to be everything supposedly right now.
We were Sicilians and shit.
You go on Facebook. The first thing I see is some AI image of like, oh, we were the first Vikings or some bullshit.
First Vikings, the first Jews, the first Asian people.
Have you seen them? There was a recent meme that was like diversity in real life. There was a
Hold on one time, guys.
It was like diversity in movies, or it was diversity in real life. It was just like people like Native American, Viking, and then it was like Native American diversity in Hollywood. It's just a black guy in every single setting.
I saw that.
It's like
black guy, like a
black samurai, black Native American, black.
Well, MSK, you should probably go to the hospital for that. Oh, his comment's gone. I think somebody needed it.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. MSK is suffering a medical emergency. If we can have a wellness check sent to his home and bring little scissors with you.
I have brain damage.
Well, speaking of brain damage and professional wrestling society, you had an interesting week. You want to kind of fill us all in on what's going on there?
I think the only way that I can explain this to a bunch of normies who probably have no concept of professional wrestling is explain it like this. I'm going to do a storyboard presentation of how we got to this point here. So, 2 days ago, I think it's been 2 days now, I made a post on social media about this woman right here. Now, this woman is called Demi Bennett. Well, you're jumping way too far ahead into the story. So, this individual is called Demi Bennett, and she was a young Australian girl who wanted to be a pro wrestler, got signed to the WWE at a very, very early age. However, Demi Bennett basically saw herself as this girl here and hated what she looked like. She was not very happy about the woman that she had became. Here's some other photos of her in her very, very young age, very, very young state. And now most people will probably look at this and think to herself, well, that's a very nice, attractive looking young girl. She looks nice. She looks nice. She looks fine, cute girl. It's like, so what is the big problem? Well, the big problem here is that there's a lot of self-image issues, particularly with this woman. So she goes to WWE and she becomes Rhea Ripley, where for some reason she has decided that at this point in her life, at this point in her career, she's not good enough being the person that I guess she wanted to be, or the company wanted to be. Now there's been some back and forth on this whole situation, saying that, oh well, the company wanted to change her because she looked too much like another person. And then I've also heard people basically saying that no, actually it was her own decision because, like I said, she she hated what she looked like, and she wanted to radically change for the conforming for the company or some nonsense like this. So when she first showed up to WWE, I'm going to give you this photo here just real quick. When she first showed up to WWE, she basically looks like this. Pop it over here. So this is what she looks like here. Like I said, tough little muscle girl. Looks like someone who would probably be on like American Gladiators, like back in like the 1990s or whatnot. But it's like,
on the show?
I don't know. I think that bitch may be burned. That bitch may have been burned. But once again,
I'll wrestle her.
Woman did not like the way that she looked, did not like the blonde hair, did not like whatever she saw like in the mirror. So over the course of the next several years, she decided to metamorphosize into Rhea Ripley and slowly but surely rebel against the little girl that she was in the earlier photos. So this is what she slowly started to become in some of the later photos here.
Christ, is it Naughty Dog designing?
I was literally
now?
about to make that joke. I was about to make that same joke.
Wow, if Sweet Baby Inc. was a person. Man,
yeah. So this
is a man I'm seeing right now.
All right,
right?
who was her ex? Like, who's her ex that broke her?
It looks like Marilyn Manson.
So over the course of the last few years, you know, she's let her hair grow out more, but unfortunately that's also come with these massive evil looking tattoos that she has put all over her body. So this is kind of like what she looks like now. I think this one right here is a current photo of what she looks like. So yeah, you see a completely different person than what you saw before. Now, some of you guys will look at this and you think to yourself, it's like, well, what the hell is like this person like is now? It's like this person was fine. This person was like, I had no problem with this person. Well, here's the problem. You didn't have any problem with this person, but she did. And that's what you guys, you bigoted, incel, misogynist, toxic people on the internet need to understand is that she was very unhappy being this person, and then she's completely happy being the person she is now, even though she's technically not, because she still can't look at her old pictures without hating herself. And that's kind of what led to my comment that I posted 2 days ago on Twitter that went viral, kind of exploded. I just basically said this. Somebody, I think it was creepy.org, the Twitter account, basically says Rhea Ripley's transformation. There's what she looked like when I believe she was like 19 or 20 years old, and that's kind of like a more recent photo of what she has become over the course of the last couple of years. So I replied, and I thought that was being pretty, kind for the most, as kind as they possibly could be, saying that she was better off before, and if she didn't hate herself, she would see that. Right? That was literally all I posted. And then over the course of the next 24 hours, I moved on with my life because why wouldn't I? But I think what happened was that this post started going viral. A bunch of people started liking this post, got a bunch of bookmarks and stuff like that. So the wrestler herself, Rhea Ripley, saw my post and decided to respond to it. Now, she responded by saying this, not nearly as kind as I was to her. She was not very kind at all. Actually, I think she was probably upset by the things that I said here. So here's her post. I'll pop this one over here. Here's her post replying to me. She says that, actually, I love myself a lot more now, ... Normally, when someone says ... they're going to contradict what they just said in the very part of that thing. He says that, I hated and still hate how I looked in the first pic, so please, not so kindly, go F yourself, project your toxic masculinity and straight up insecurities somewhere else.
Now, where the haircut came from.
All the buzzwords,
burn.
like wow.
So
garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, no offense, darling, but name a bigger fucking downgrade. You went from Rhea Ripley to fucking Ronald Rip.
I mean, a lot of stuff.
We went from Sonya Blade to Goro in the blink of an eye.
And like I said, there's allegations of like steroid abuse too. Now I can't confirm nor deny all that, so I'll just call it allegations at the most part. But
the Jay Leno chin gave it away. Jesus.
Yeah, it's true. There's questions of heart problems too, but that's a whole other conversation. So a couple of things here. If you guys read what I said very plainly, and she was better before, and if she didn't hate herself, she would see that. And what does she reply to me? She says, I hated and still hated how I looked in the first pic. So basically, you confirmed exactly what I said in the reply that you're quoting in the first place. Like, did anyone else catch that? Out basically said the exact same thing.
Yeah, I caught that immediately. She just pretty much quoted you.
Yeah, wait. Hold on. That's a good point. She literally just said, "I did hate myself." So
and still do. So. That means I'm right. I mean, that literally means that I was right.
Dude, I think she doesn't know what insecurities mean.
Billy Tucci's back.
That word you keep using, I do not think it means what you think it means.
And that's the thing too, because like I hate to break this to you, but there's only 2 people in the last 24 hours who admitted that they hated themselves, and it wasn't me. So I don't think I'm the insecure one in this conversation. I think that's, you talk about project your toxic masculinity. First of all, what did I say that had anything to do with masculinity, like whatsoever? Like I didn't slam this woman for being like a feminist or like a blue hair weirdo or anything like that. I just said she looked better before. Can somebody decipher how that's toxic masculinity?
She looks more masculine than me in that fucking second photo.
Yeah. I think she looks more masculine than everybody on this panel, to be honest.
Hey, that's true.
But not as rugged.
Why that's toxically masculine. Well, the reason that's toxically masculine is because you are a male making a comment on a female's appearance, which we're allowed to do, by the way.
Yeah. Like the last time I checked, this is still America.
Toxic masculinity and straight up insecurities elsewhere. Yeah,
I would have replied, not very ladylike of you.
Dude, this sounds. This sounds like why do these women? I've talked about it. Like there are a few phrases that like these women use, and once you start realizing it, they're all in a box. So ready? Let me break it down for you. So there's toxic masculinity, straight. Take your insecurities elsewhere. Kissy face. There's the nails emoji. That is a classic. A couple of other phrases to look out for. Guys, there's it's giving. That is another phrase you'll hear a lot. Giving, I'm saying. That's another one.
My truth.
My truth. That's a good one. He ate. That's another one. Or she ate.
I hate that.
Like I started.
Let him cook is funny, but
let him cook is funny, but that probably is because a man came up with that term. I do believe. So I do believe that was invented by men. But yeah, let's see. I mean, I'll have to circle back, but there are a few like key phrases that I've noticed. My insert whatever era.
Yeah. It's TikTok brain, and a woman with a career like that should not be having TikTok brain.
That's what I mean.
Unless she got it.
To put this into perspective for you, this woman is the active WWE Women's Champion, so she is technically the top woman in the entire company of WWE right now. And this is the insecure response that she labeled to me and tried to project it that somehow I'm the one who's insecure. Like you admitted that you can't even look at old pictures of yourself because that's how much you hate yourself.
Yeah, really.
Like
that's what I was about to point out.
She still hates herself.
This is the most insecure response, while also pointing out that she thinks you're insecure for making the comment to begin with. So
how dare you point out what I said?
I think what it is that a lot of these women who are completely delusional, and I've heard a few of her stands say this over the course of the last few days, is that no, men don't like what she looks like now because they're intimidated, and you're intimidated and insecure in a strong woman. And it was like she looked pretty strong as a blonde, and she looked far more attractive than she does now. So I don't think that is the strong woman, quote unquote, but I think a lot of delusional people, especially in the feminist community, they think that, the reason why men don't like them is that, they're just intimidated by strong women. It's like, no, you're just kind of insufferable. That's really more what it has to do with.
Intimidation and repulsion are two very different things.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm repulsed by your new look. I'm not intimidated by it at all. I feel sorry for you that you hated your old look so much that you decided to look more fucking masculine than me.
It just shows you that no matter where you are, no matter what career you're in, you cannot escape yourself. And no doubt she went into this career because she was trying to escape her own insecurities and thinking that if I could be big and strong, if I could be a champion,
if I can play a character, I don't have to be myself.
Yeah. And here I can.
As a fan of the dark side of the ring, you see that with a lot of not just the female wrestlers, but a lot of the guys too. And I think that would have been her best response to you, and probably would have given you little to work with. Would have been just like, it's pro wrestling, man, whatever. And
I mean, if she really wanted to cook me, all she had to say was, no, actually, I love myself and I love the picture beforehand, so you can go F off. And then I would have had nothing to say. But you went and confirmed exactly what I said, and it just attacked me for saying what I knew to be true in the first place. So when she replied there, obviously, I just replied simply with this. Okay, I mean, you literally proved my point, but thanks for the input. So in the course of the last 48 hours, all of the Rhea Ripley fans have been attacking me, saying that, oh, you're weird, or you're a misogynist, I can't, F you, go kill yourself, all the typical stuff that you expect like 14-year-old girls to say, right? I mean, it's just, it just is what it is, like, at this point. And then there's two things that I figured out dealing with these people. One, it seems to be like her primary fan base all seems to have this pent-up anger and aggression towards men, which I guess shouldn't be too surprising that they all run like in the same circles here. And apparently a lot of her fans also seem to be lesbians as well. And this is something else that I've noticed about these women in these feminist circles, is that, that they don't want to be the woman that gets, I guess, admired by the quote-unquote male gaze. And here's the way I kind of phrase it. They don't want to look like someone that the typical 18 to 34 male demographic would enjoy, but they would love to look like something like the typical 18 to 34 lesbian demographic will enjoy. And as long as they're enjoyed, then it's fine. But if it's the men that like you, that's bad.
The way my generation.
Well, I'm sure that's a much larger market.
Sure, right?
Dude, there are people there are guys that'll be like, I don't know, my generation, I'm afraid they're getting like so engineered they might even be like, yeah, that's great. It's better.
I know a bunch. I know guys within our circle that think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way she looks like now, and that she's goth mommy. Please step on me.
Battsauce.
I like.
To be fair, Theo did concede that I was right 24 hours after she made that post. So I think Theo's okay with me.
Wait, Theo was disagreeing with you?
Well, Theo was disagreeing in jest, because this is before she actually replied to it, so we were kind of having fun with it, and then she made the post that she did, and he was like, I guess you were kind of right then. Oops.
I mean, goth mommies in high school looked better than that. That looks scary. That looks like, I don't know. That's not a wrestler. That's a biker. That's a biker who's trying to be intimidating in front of a Hell's Angel. I think Hell's Angel's going to laugh at you.
I think toxic masculinity can fix her.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity isn't even a job.
I don't know. I think at this point it's in Jesus' hands. I think we've exhausted all options at this point. It's like you may need an act of God to turn this ship to the other side. So I guess after this post, I made kind of a cheeky comment, as the Brits would say. It says, no worry, somebody out there likes you, even if it's not yourself. And I just posted
that is a picture. Good that you're correct. You are completely correct.
Dude,
we are often.
I'm sure your parents still love you.
Now, hang on. Is this Gooner material? That's the real question.
That is
the before images.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, I mean, I think we should get Melanie to weigh in on this.
Is this porn, Melanie? Is this degeneracy, Melanie Mac? Can you please explain to me what this is, so I know how to react to it?
Yeah.
Well, you see, the thing is, she's going to be in a bit of a dichotomy in her head, isn't she? Because this is Gooner material, but she's also not going to agree with what she's turned into. She looks like a fucking demon. She's a demon. But so she's going to be in a little bit of a dichotomy. Which way? It's like if you butter both sides of the bread and you drop it, it doesn't know which side to land on, so it just hovers above the floor.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the guess the point of contention here is that there's. Keep in mind, if you notice all the posts that I made, I still had more likes than I had comments. So I got a lot of angry comments, but I also got a lot of people liking it, saying that I pretty much agree with everything that you said here. So there's this shift that's happening here in kind of the pro wrestling community, where there's a lot of people who liked what she looks like here and looks like what she had before, and don't like kind of the person that she's turned into. Right. At the same time, I think her point of contention is that she hates what she was in this photo so much that she's gone so far the other way to, I guess, kind of become so that she no longer can look in a mirror and see that person anymore, right? Like I can say, all these tattoos are all recent. Like she came in this doughy-eyed teenage girl with no tats, and she kind of had a powerlifting background and whatnot, and then all the daddy issues just came out. It was just
started channeling fucking Dr. Frankenfurter by the look of it.
Yeah. Damn, man. Before I was joking along with you guys, but I was in the back of my mind like, oh, yeah, you know, she just looks like a goth wrestler. It's not that big a deal, but holy crap. This is like Mo from the Three Sturges combined with Dr. Frankenfurter and Marilyn Manson.
No, you know what she looks like?
Motorcycle rally, and they'd be like, whoa.
No, she looks like Demi Lovato trying to talk to ghosts.
Oh shit!
She looked like somebody. That haircut was reminding me of somebody. Demi Lovato. Yep.
Yeah, like
hasn't she flip flopped yet again, Lovato?
I think so. Probably, but yeah. Remember, it was like it's not a goth look. Well, because there's a certain goth look, but this ain't it. Like the Demi Lovato talking to ghosts thing was like, whatever. It was like trying to do as ugly as they can to make their face or some shit. And mind you, I do like goth chicks. So anyone out there that's a goth chick, I'm open.
Well, can I just ask from the 90s and early 2000s?
I like that.
Can I just ask something? Would you consider? Let's ask society. You're quite religious. Would you consider that the goth look is demonic or in that sort of vein? Do you know what I mean? Like it's not godly.
I mean, personally, yes, and there's two reasons for that. One is that obviously with a lot of goth imagery comes a lot of like paganism, and paganism very much in its origins is basically everything that's against biblical teaching. So it's no surprise that when you look at her and look at kind of like her look and her like personality, if you were to, I guess, picture someone who's basically in the front to anything that would be of God, that would be look exactly like her. Now, I do understand that there are people out there who love kind of like the goth aesthetic, like, you know, the black color and kind of like the goth look, who aren't, you know, all in on like, you know, paganism and Satanism and stuff like that. So I do understand that there is a difference with some people. Not everyone sees it the same way, but a lot of people who do fall into this line end up looking exactly like something out of the pits of hell. And here's another recent photo of Rhea that kind of proves my point of exactly.
Only the ones who do it right, society.
Yeah.
You see, the reason why I ask that question is because doesn't Melanie Mac dress like a goth?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think she's more like the emo chick. Melanie's more like the emo type. Like you guys remember the episode?
Side are you on, Vagabond?
Right? No, it's like,
how dare you?
You seen the South Park episode of where it was like the goths versus the emos versus the vampires?
That's one of the best. Yes.
Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
I'm not gonna lie, I was big into the goth shit when I mean, come on, I grew up in the 90s. That's when I went to high school.
I don't like I could deal with it. I don't like the nose piercings personally. But like I also, and that's just in general. I think it would depend. Like with the goth things for me, if you're trying too hard, it's like easy. You know what I mean?
And look, I understand that there's people who kind of get into like the golf scene as like a teenager, and then, you know, as they slowly shift more into adulthood, they like slowly like grow out of that, and they don't really like hold a lot of those other deals. So it's like, I understand. I'm not trying to say that it's one size fit all, but normally people who get into like the golf lifestyle don't do it like in their early to mid 20s. It's something that you do like much younger age.
Now, does she get a little bit of a pass being a professional wrestler with all the performativeness, and you have to create a character and almost live like it at the same time?
Well, the problem is that she's not really doing that, because she's on Twitter arguing with me, and she's supposed to be this evil demon chick that you see on television. That you can't be evil demon chick on television and then have like emotional breakdowns on Twitter against some schmuck like me. I mean, that's kind of breaking the veils. If you're supposed to be tough goth chick, and then let me tell you my emotional trauma about how I used to view myself when I was 16 years old. It's like it doesn't really jive that well. So I think as a professional wrestler, kind of doing a bad job at that.
The thing is though with goth isn't just a look; it's an attitude. So people have this.
Tell us, Queen.
And I actually did some interesting research on this. The goth attitude is more just having a foot in the grave and recognizing that everything is kind of fleeting and that you're
almost
not
quite literally.
And so it's not self-loathing. It's just acknowledging that eventually things are going to die, and so maybe you don't take things as seriously, kind of let it go, because eventually it's not going to matter at one point.
Yeah, we get it. We all listen to Linkin Park. We get it.
Thank you.
Well, I think with her
self-loathing and it's not really self-deprecating. It may be self-deprecating, but it's not self-loathing. This is a cry for attention. I kind of wonder if it's a bit, honestly, to go from, I'm this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, blonde, pretty wrestler. No, I'm a demon. I kind of wonder if that's what she's trying to do.
It sounds like to me, if she's using terms like toxic masculinity and patriarchy and all that type of stuff, I think she's just one of those, like, she probably has TDS or whatever. For whatever reason,
she's Australian. That's the given.
Oh God, well, then, you're a trash atheist. Damn it.
Yeah, so she's probably one of those, like, bash the patriarchy. So because the original picture, she looks like a, if I didn't know she was Australian, I would have think of like an all-American white girl or whatever, right? So okay, well, what's the very far opposite of that? Because I hate myself, and this is what she chooses.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, it's my whole point here is that I don't really have any hate towards Rhea Ripley. I know people are like, "Oh, you're hating her, you're body shaming her." It's like, first of all, this is literally not what I did. I just said she looked better years ago, because it's like, yeah, I mean, she looked
body
better
shaming
here.
herself.
And then it's like, my whole point is that clearly this girl has some emotional issues. I don't know what source of trauma she's dealt with, but I think I mentioned this earlier this week, even before we got into all this. Like, normally chicks with like a whole bunch of tattoos, Melanie Mack, you can throw in that category as well. They have some past trauma, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, sometimes sexual too. That is a thing too. Whereas there's some kind of internalized trauma that they haven't really coped with and haven't kind of moved past. And the big thing that they like to do is kind of have all these tattoos that show signs of all their traumas and whatnot. It's kind of like a big giant red flag when it really comes down to it. So a lot of those chicks, and I know quite a few of them who have those, have a lot of pent up issues that they have gone unresolved. And for you guys out there, it's like, oh, that's my fetish. For someone with experience, it's not fun. It's not fun, especially when they start getting to the emotional breakdown stage. It's really not fun, because then the next thing you know, the cops are questioning you like you did something wrong. Don't do it. It's not what they show you on television. But no, my whole point is just this. It's like, look, you were fine like the way you were before. So clearly the issue that you have with your past self isn't what you looked like. There's something else going on there, that when you look back at that girl, there's some event that you can't get out of your head, or something that somebody did to you or was done to you, that every time you look at that young girl that you see in those photos, you can't get over that, because it reminds you of something bad that happened in the past. So now you're living your entire adult life trying to run away from that girl that you used to be, yet you can't really run away from her, because every time somebody shows you an old family photo, you see her again. So that's like an emotional problem that you should probably deal with, rather than kind of lashing out at everyone else around you.
And that's a
thank God she found the
there.
virtue and security and safety of the professional wrestling industry.
Oh
I'm sure we'll be there for her and not cause any more trauma whatsoever.
Like, wrestling has a great background of dealing with
absolutely
emotional problems, distress,
and supporting their athletes and performers.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
So I mean, pretty exciting.
So I mean, this is what's been going on. I'm still getting messages whining about how I'm a terrible person because I said what I said, and I basically doubled down on everything that I said. Like, I'm not taking anything back. So that there won't be any apologies. There won't be any like, oh guys, like, oh, I didn't know that I upset the WWE Women's Champion, who's supposed to be this tough badass, over my was it like 50 character reply to something I posted 2 days ago. It's like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
so.
how dare
Why
you,
didn't she
society?
Just challenge you to a match?
How dare you, society? You X note, terrible Christian man.
Yeah. Even in my reply had nothing to do with like Christianity, like whatsoever. I didn't say, "Oh, this heretic, this harlot, this gooner over here." Like I literally said none of that, like in the reply, like at all. It's like I thought I was coming from a sympathetic background. I was coming from like, hey, look, you know what? If you just stop, with the internalized hate of yourself, you realize that that person here in this photo, she's not a bad girl. She's really not. And whatever emotional issues that you're dealing with, it wasn't your fault. So don't put it out on yourself as if somehow you were the problem. You weren't.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Hey, do Ari Gold. Let's hug it out. Let's just hug it out.
Well, the thing is with a woman like this, and really with anyone like this, not just because she's a woman, that's her personality. She's a hammer in search of a nail. So any and all criticism, even if it's not critical, she'll interpret it as criticism. And no doubt someone looked through your profile and used instead of arguing the point or discussing the point, they discuss the person. And because that's what most of this. Oh Jesus, stop! It just gets worse. I'm trying to be sympathetic to this bit, but it's getting harder and harder to do.
Well, I think we see this with JoJo Siwa or whatever, right? Don't we?
Oh, she's disgusting.
Oh yeah.
What happened to her?
At a young
I mean, you see that, to be fair, you see that a lot with girls in Hollywood. And shocker, a lot of girls in Hollywood have suffered with physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. It's almost as if there's like a parallel there.
Out in that place. Yeah, people and they want to lecture us about the right way to live. Go fuck yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because even the JoJo Siwa, it wasn't like, because like I think it's the same situation where they're not trying to be goth or anything. They're like, okay, society expects me to be this. And I don't even know where our JoJo C was from, but like the all-American white girl type of look or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, there's a problem with being an actual woman or whatever. So like they try to do this uglification opposite thing or whatever. I'm gonna be as loud and obnoxious or whatever. And now we're seeing this JoJo Siwa do the weirdest dances, pretending she can drink a tiny sip of Fireball, which she doesn't. And I don't know if you've seen that video.
So just
and
she tries like cosplay as a lesbian, but she's disgusting. Like a lot of the lesbians that I know are actually really cool, but JoJo's just disgusting. She wears it on her sleeve, and it's an act. She's not actually serious.
Well, I was gonna say about this girl right here, like, I mean, I did the goth thing too. I'm not gonna lie. I had naturally
there's no evidence of those photos anywhere on the internet.
Well, no. But I did have a MySpace a long time ago. Oh wow, MySpace.
I didn't see a competition just before Christmas or around Halloween where you were dressed up as like a goth chick or anything like that. No, I didn't see that at all. Right? Yeah.
I was stuck on the MySpace. Like, imagine I have to like explain to Zoomers. Okay, so there's this guy called Tom, right?
And now he's his only friend on MySpace.
Yeah, he's the only one that adds you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's your first friend, and everyone's his friend.
Yeah, but now he's his own friend on MySpace because no one else is on MySpace.
What?
Hey, you know who never censored my social media? Tom.
What? Speaking of MySpace, there's a thing called the Friends Project, and basically, it's like having MySpace but modern. MySpace. So the whole Friends Project copies the whole aesthetic of MySpace. You can change your profile and everything, and if we get a bunch of us on there, that'll be awesome.
That sounds like so much fun. Can you like put on a song up there? Like the tag and like the stupid wallpaper with one photo repeated 50 times.
Yeah, so I'll send a link. Awesome. It's called the Friends Project. I think everyone should just hop on there too, just because.
Why not? That'd be funny. But my point with this girl was,
I'm not doing that.
Obviously. Come on, Jack.
Like on further review, no, I'm not doing this.
I feel like
what if Tia Tequila is on there? Would you join?
Oh God, why would you do that to yourself? What the hell? No,
Tia Tequila's way grosser than this girl.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, it was a joke, but what was it? She was like the first person to get to 1 billion on MySpace or some shit.
Yeah. With her,
anyway, you were saying, sorry, Selena.
Yeah, no, it's good. I was just gonna say, like, obviously, this is the wrestling thing. They come up with these personas. Like, maybe she's not like this in real life, You know,
No,
obviously
she is.
tried her. No,
Yeah,
but
she
like the tattoos, sure, and everything, and the hair, whatever. What's wrong with black hair? Nothing, right? Black lipstick, I have nothing against it either. But you know, as far as like the demon thing on her face and stuff, I mean, that's really just like part of the act, right?
No.
Like, do you really think
She literally has a satanic throne that she put in her own house. She's taking
Get
pictures
out.
with it.
Oh my!
Get out for real?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Come
Okay.
on.
Yeah, like if you go Google pictures of her home, you realize it's not an act.
So she's sort of like Megan Fox and her boyfriend, like drinking
Yep.
blood and shit. Ew. Okay. All right. More than I wanted to know. But...
See, we keep
Thanks
trying
for
to defend
answering.
her. We keep trying to be like have these deeper conversations about the state of
Toxic masculinity.
I mean, it's just like
your
the
self-image
look
and
of her.
everything. She
You know
just
what I mean?
keeps ruining it.
I like Halloween and stuff, so to me, it's like she's just playing like a role. But I didn't know all that stuff, so that's a whole other. You know,
Well, maybe
thing.
she's actually satanic as opposed to just being goth.
So
There
seems like it from what he says about her house.
I mean, she literally has like a Wendigo tattooed or a giant Wendigo tattooed on her leg with other very creepy satanic tattoos that probably wouldn't fly in Saudi Arabia, which is why she has to cover up every time she's over there.
She is a Wendigo.
I mean, because like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I listen to like Marilyn
Wendigo
and stuff, but like,
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I don't really watch modern wrestling, so like, I don't have too much of an opinion on it, honestly. I didn't know who she was until now.
Like one of my favorite bands of all time is fucking Typo Negative. And but again, I don't know. I think this girl might scare the crap out of the late lead singer. That guy was 7 feet tall. But I don't know. I mean,
Another funny thing is that, you know, I believe last year, they're literally talking about this last year at WrestleMania, which is like the big like WWE pro wrestling show. Apparently she had a panic attack right before she went on stage, right? And I guess they tried to like play it off. It was like, oh, she was just nervous because she had to go out there in front of like 60,000. Like, this is her 5th WrestleMania. It's not like this is the first time she's ever stood in front of like a big crowd before. So it's like, there's a lot more going on here, like behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people want to cope to, because like I said, they're all trying to basically gas her up, be like, oh no, it's normal, you just keep doing you and doing the stuff that you do. And it's like, there may actually be some issues here that we might want to talk about that maybe we should address. Do you guys want to think that maybe we should talk about some of these things? Maybe have a sit down, be like, oh hey, how you doing? How's things going?
So how you doing?
Is that her
Is
now?
that a satanic throne? It just looks black and creepy.
No, I was more focused on like the tattoos on her leg and this photo, or the one in her arm too.
Can you pick a hairstyle? Or all over the place.
Well, this one's just like, now she's a
Eddie
skater
Munson.
chick.
Is she straight?
Yeah, no, she's straight.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well,
allegedly.
Well,
She's
on
a
the right,
lesbian cut,
As
so I
pretentious
wasn't
as you can
sure.
get.
I don't know. Here she's like a skater chick or whatever. So I don't know. She doesn't know what she wants to be.
Wait, is this the same bird? Is that Rhea Ripley still?
Yeah.
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 Take a look.
Yeah,
dude.
no
Look at
offense.
me.
If she is straight, what dudes are actually going for her? I mean, like, when was the last time she probably went on a date? I mean,
Well, she's
other
married to like
wrestlers.
another wrestler who's in another company now.
Oh, right, okay.
Wow.
I was gonna say I'm having pictures of her just like she's got like a cup of oil and a flip flop by the side of a bed. That's the only.
Just imagine trying to sit down to a coffee date and all that, get up, and some little church kids like, hi, I'm gonna bend you over my knee, okay?
No, I think definitely one of the biggest problems here is got to be steroid abuse, but that's rampant in both the men and the women in that industry.
Yeah, it's especially like it was always bad with the men, but now the women are starting to do the juice too, and it's just like you guys have no idea what you're doing to yourselves. Put it to you this way: when you abuse steroids to the point where like your heart starts getting bigger and bigger, when all your other muscles start to compact, your heart doesn't go back to a normal size. Just hope you guys know that.
Really?
So.
Does it work in the opposite way with women? Like, you know how like men take steroids and their junk shrinks up. When women take steroids, does it engorge more?
Well, I have an answer to that, but I don't know if I want to tell you here. So
I'm actually curious too.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Think about that.
Let's get the answer.
I don't know.
Let's search Google.
Who will volunteer to look it up on Google and have it on their search history? Let's see who will take the fall.
Honestly, looking at what happened.
There you go.
I'm volunteering you to look it up.
What I'm looking up?
Look up real rippy little Willie.
Battsauce has confirmed it.
He's confirmed it.
He knows.
You have it on your Google history, don't you?
So women on steroids get thumb-sized clits. Got it.
Well, okay. So I'm looking at her pictures with her husband or whatever. She looks more normal in those pictures. So
yeah.
So
you can fix her.
Well, I'll be honest. They look both these people. They look like big meatheads, but they look normal in this picture for the most part.
Well, her hair.
I see people like this in Vegas all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really, make me kind of.
Although I have to say, the longer hair looks better on her a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, looking at the pictures online, I mean, I guess I got no opinion on her anymore. Because with her husband, kind of seemed like a normal couple, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's weird too, because like I know a couple of these like weirdo, like Luciferian Satanist people who shop at Hobby Lobby on the weekends, and I just kind of like, do you know what? I don't think you understand the gimmick here. Like, wait, what do you want to do? You go to Chick-fil-A next to eat lunch?
Well, like, okay, like if you see all the pictures of her and her husband together, she doesn't have all the makeup and stuff she's doing for the wrestling persona. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it might be part an act for the wrestling persona, and then who knows? She might have some insecurities about being blonde and stuff in the past. But honestly, the normal pictures of her and her husband, she don't really look that bad to me.
The Hobby Lobby pictures.
Be honest.
Yeah. Well, okay. Like if I didn't know she was going out with anyone, and I saw her with the dyed black hair at Hobby Lobby, I would probably ask her out. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, we know Vagabond's type.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit too, without the bad haircuts are what really got it for me. Like the mental illness look, the shaved side, or the Uncle Fester bowl cut.
I think it's easier to just like look past, like I said, the wrestling persona if you knew it was just the persona, right? If it was just the character that you played on TV. Like, put it to you this way: we all know that Kane isn't really Kane, like in real life. Like, you all know Glenn Jacobs; he's a mayor of like Knoxville, Tennessee now. But when he puts on the red suit and the mask, he's Kane. It's like the Undertaker; he's Mark Calloway when he's not on WWE, but then he'll put on the hat or the biker gimmick. So it's like it's easy to differentiate between the person and like the persona if that was the only like problem here, but clearly there's a lot more going on here than just the wrestling persona. Like I think that it is that she created the wrestling persona because the wrestling persona gives her an outlet to not be herself anymore because she's not comfortable with being herself clearly. So I think that's what it has more to do with. It's like the same thing with like a guy like Ric Flair. It's like Ric Flair has spent so many years being Ric Flair. He doesn't know how to be Richard Fleer anymore. You know what I mean? It's like all he knows is limousine riding and jet flying and losing all his money in divorce and stuff like that. Like he doesn't know how to be himself anymore.
I mean, but a lot of people don't know this, but in real life, Vince McMahon is actually a good actor.
Right.
Really?
Well, okay. If you look up more pictures of her and her husband together, like she doesn't honestly, she doesn't look bad to me.
Wait, which one is her husband? Because there was a couple of guys she was dating, so I want to make sure you get like the right dude.
The one on the left is the man.
The story, men.
Because the one on the left is her current husband, so I don't know which one. Because there was a couple other guys before her.
Oh, I just bring up the pictures because I'm honestly, for me, it started to be a nothing burger for me personally. So I was like, I don't care about the daddy issues. I'll take her. Well, like if I seen a chick like her in public, and besides the wrestling pictures, if like the way she's dressed around her husband's or whatever, she looks normal enough to me. I'll be like, hey, I'll hit it.
Her husband's.
I would say you also got to remember that a couple of those photos are probably like other wrestlers that she works with, so they're not exactly like her boyfriends or husbands.
Okay, well, I don't even know who she's exactly married to, but so I just say bring up the photos so we all take a look, and then I'll be the judge, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody's
Hey,
got him.
Mr. Burger.
What up, Mr. Burger?
Yeah, what's his name? Buddy Murphy? Is that his name? I think that's his name. Yeah, he's the guy over here on the right. I mean, on the left, I should say. Excuse me.
Who's the other guy?
Ragnar Lothbrok and Billie Eilish, apparently.
Oh, that's her. Holy crap.
Yeah, see, that's her.
No, that time I wasn't joking. I actually thought that was two dudes.
No.
But, honey, pick a look. You
This is
go
what I
your own
mean.
all
It's
over
like,
the
I
place.
love
Where to
myself
get
now.
back to you?
Well, if you love yourself now, why is now like what is now? Is now going to be different? Like, has she changed looks since tweeting that? Like, I've never heard
no,
it.
this is her current look. So,
which one? This hair?
yeah, I think the picture that I posted a little while ago is like what she looks like right now. So,
Wait, all right. What? How long is her hair currently?
Who knows?
you got to remember on TV they have to let her like extensions. So if you see her hair on television, it's not like mostly her rear hair, but her hair is pretty long now, as far as I recall.
Okay.
Okay, I just looked it up. This dude, yeah, this is Buddy Matthews. This is her husband.
Yeah.
So they married this year. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, good for them.
Hold on, just can anybody hear me?
In a graveyard.
Yeah.
No.
Now we can.
Okay. You're absolutely right. Iron is next week. So it's not this week, it's next week.
Yes, trivia is the last Friday of each
Friday
month.
in every month, and I thought this was the last Friday. All right. Well, pity. Great conversation. Enjoying the show. Kick me, Iron.
You're welcome to stick around if you want to hang out.
I mean, you don't have to leave.
Yeah,
but you should.
He's talking to you, Vaughn. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, you know what? I'll just say this, and then I'll go. I believe Battsauce is completely guilty of everything he's been accused of. All right,
absolutely.
And goodbye.
Good justice for Battsauce. See you later. We'll see you next week.
I have no idea what he's been accused of, but whatever it is, he's guilty.
Burger.
No, he's guilty. Yeah, he's guilty. I was the one who was accusing him earlier. Mr. Burger is siding with me. Is what he's saying.
So it's confirmed Mr. Burger is Vaughn's lawyer.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing a civil war meme right now. We'll get people are gonna pick sides. All right. I need everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
by the United stream, everyone's gonna give me their stances, and it's gonna be me and Battsauce at war. All right, let's go.
Well, I can't pick a side. I have to be impartial because I'm the judge. But I have seen all of the evidence, and I'm pretty much going towards Battsauce at the minute.
So if you gotta wear one of those posh British judge wigs, you know.
Oh, dude! By the end of it, I'm going to be wearing a black cap.
Nice.
I get that reference because I watched BBC stuff.
Yeah, like I'm just saying.
Heavy.
This picture doesn't look bad to me at all. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, this is from like 2 weeks ago. So if you want to know where her current look is this.
I think maybe she can't rock the black lipstick as good as other women are, but I think she's fine.
She's definitely doesn't look like Conan the Barbarian anymore. At least her arms aren't the size of thighs anymore. So that's nice.
That's the other thing. Just comparing her to a lot of the female superstars, you see that transformation, and it's definitely the use of the performance-enhancing illicit substances.
Yeah,
they just
if you want to talk about
balloon up like
if
China.
you want to talk about girls who you use the gas in wrestling, that's a whole other conversation. Because I got another transformation that's probably even more terrifying than this one. If you want to talk about steroid users.
Did you piss her off too?
Not yet. I think it's been a while since I've talked to her, but I haven't really had a need to talk to her recently. So,
does anyone remember Rikishi?
Oh, I saw him at MomoCon.
That's Gorlock the Destroyer now.
Oh, but yeah, we had Dragon Con. They had a wrestling event at Dragon Con, and Rikishi they had Rikishi over there, and they did like a whole tribute to him and everything. And I recorded it. I just haven't uploaded those any videos from it yet.
Did anyone get the stink face?
No. The Rikishi bottom? No. No, actually, one person did get the Rikishi bottom. Never mind.
She needs it.
Oh, let
Anyway.
Battsauce in. Where is? All right.
Hey.
Justice
Oh,
for
look what the
Battsauce.
cat dragged in.
Too much goth hate going on. What is
Yeah.
up with that, man?
Yeah.
Some respect for the goth ladies. Come on. Not this. These arms are ridiculous, though. Like, holy shit. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was
she
gonna
might
say that's a lot more my biggest problem is the
steroids,
size. Yeah.
she might be able to crush some watermelons for me with her thighs.
I know for a fact there was a rumor a while back
Watermelon,
ago that
huh?
she was recently placed on like a heart monitor, which could have been for one of two reasons. So I can't say 1000% had anything steroid related to do, because there was also the shot that everyone took that may have had. But I heard that there was something going on with that a couple of years ago that hopefully has passed now, because that thing put Triple H's career to a finish, because he just recently had a massive heart attack a couple of years ago that ended his career as well. So.
It could be something as simple as stress or anxiety, but seeing as her profession is this, like, it's steroids. Like, it's just 100%.
Honestly, it could be that too. I mean, she did admit to having a panic attack last year, so I mean, it could be a whole multitude of things. So
I'd have a fucking panic attack if I looked like that.
One last thing that I'm actually glad that she hasn't done, at least not yet. I mean, who knows? There's still time, but I know there's a lot of women out there who love getting like chest tattoos. Please stop. Please stop doing that.
Yeah.
There's a number of women who I know who got like tattoos that basically cover up like all the goods, and it's like nobody really wants to see that. It's like, if anyone ever gets to the point where you get to see a woman topless, that it should be like a magical moment. You shouldn't be like, oh great, I'm staring at a dragon. Like that's certainly a thing.
It should say Jack's face here.
What about an octopus coming out of the anus area?
Hell yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just Satan. Like, okay. Well,
I'm a partially disagree. There's some actual tattooed women I like and I've seen completely.
I'm with Vagabond on this.
Yeah, so okay, so I've been going what's the group? There's one group I follow is Cosplay Deviants. They're usually in the adult section, so you go to the cons. And let's just say
shocker.
And then
follow up, did you get any collector's editions memorabilia from their booth?
Yes, and I can't show that. And also, they're going to be at MegaCon if you guys are going to be there down there too.
I know what you're talking about.
There's another group that I used to see at San Diego Comic-Con all the time, and they were I'm trying to remember the name, but but I have like their autographs and books with pictures of them and everything. So I don't mind the tattoo thing.
Here's kind of an example of what I'm talking about here. I actually don't think that this woman is not attractive, but it's like the chest tattoo. It's like, do we really have to?
It's too big.
Women do it on, like,
But here's the thing: the
and-
tattoo sucks, and that's the important part about it. Like, that's a big distinction for me. And am I the only one with tattoos on the panel?
I got one sleeve.
Right,
No,
yeah.
my whole back is filled. Honestly,
I'm a misogynist, and so I think that the only tattoos that a woman should have is a barcode on their wrist.
And when you scan it, it's a picture of me.
There's the picture of you going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I remember. So the other group of girls that I followed from San Diego Comic-Con is called they're literally called the Suicide Girls.
Oh yeah, they've been around for years.
They're the operators from John Wick.
Yeah, so like I've been following them since the MySpace days and stuff. So yeah, even before I turned 18, because I just always looked older, so I can always go to whatever booth I want without being asked for ID.
Wow.
So,
Can't relate.
but yeah, like I don't have a problem with like women with tattoos or anything. I like it. And like I said, I'm a gooner and a degenerate, and I'm proud of it. and no one on the internet telling me not to goon out for a game is going to tell me otherwise.
Yeah, you hear that, Delarose?
I'm 50-50 on the tattoos. Like, I don't hate them. Especially like Battsauce made a good point. When they're good tattoos, bad tattoos look bad on anyone.
Yep.
Men and
like I said, I'm personally in
extremely.
no tattoo camp. Like I would just prefer
me
no
too.
tattoos. I can
that's
make
fine.
an
have
exception
preference,
for
yeah.
depending on what the tattoo is. But like I said, if it's like completely body covered, it's just like nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm in the same
Do
boat
a
as
word
you.
search on your back,
Well,
make it more fun.
The problem is that like a lot of people, it's not just women, just people get shitty tattoos, and that's
Yeah.
like the big problem. Yeah,
If it involves tequila and a night in Tijuana, don't. Yeah, it's not a good
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I think I'd be okay with having like a tattoo of a Sudoku puzzle on their back, so that if just in case I get bored when I'm
Am
doing
I
it from
on mute?
behind.
That's the second time someone stole my fucking joke.
Dude, you stole
you gotta be
mine
quicker
before.
than that. Oh, you almost got it.
No, I said it. I said have like a word search on your back, make it more fun. No,
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I was paying attention to something.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
like
I was
when it
gooning
comes-
over some stuff.
yeah, for tattoos for women, I guess the limit is like as long as I don't see ice cream cones on your face and shit.
Face
okay.
tattoos are kind of
Yeah,
repulse me
no.
on anybody.
Or lips.
Yeah.
Ugh.
it looks terrible.
No, if I see a face tattoo, I'm beating you with a stick.
Now, what about a face tattoo of someone else's face?
Oh yeah, you're
Why?
getting hit with a bar.
It looks like a Borderlands character, all the lines.
Mhm.
Oh man,
It's like
Oh,
these
that'd be
glasses.
so
They're not
funny.
actually glasses. It's just a tattoo.
Mhm.
What? You got that?
Now, see, that's high quality.
It is.
Even like it's so detailed, you can see the reflection. Like it shifts no matter where you look.
Now they are doing some interesting stuff with the ink that can, be translucent and different lighting and kind of pick up on different colors and
Well,
The blue
I've seen
light.
some where they do like they did a Rick and Morty where it's the portal is green, so like they can green screen on it or whatever, or do
that's
like
cool.
what's it, augmented reality, so you can see stuff popping out of the portal and everything.
Gladiator
That's
fighting in
pretty
your
cool.
Now, I was, I think, 16 when I got my first tattoo. It's a Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Again, I got it when I was 16. And
Why are you
that's
apologizing?
not a bad pick for 16.
Right.
Could have been a lot worse.
and then the second friend to get a tattoo, I was the first one to get it while still in high school. My other buddy, he's a little crazier. He was more into Futurama, and all the girls were getting the tramp stamps. So he got a Hypnotoad tramp stamp.
No.
Oh man.
I can't say his name, but because he's actually in politics now.
Oh,
But I see
Well,
that
hopefully he got that
motherfucker on
sucker
Facebook
removed.
and stuff, and I'm like, I know that motherfucker has Hypnotoad from Futurama with the squiggly lines as a tramp stamp. He got it.
That's hilarious.
But I am planning to do a branding, like an actual branding.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yellowstone Y.
Don't do it. That's
Don't do
just
that.
dumb.
No, I'm gonna do it. I've been planning this for a long time, so I'm gonna 3D print it, make the metal and stuff, and then find some friends to hold me down. And
Oh no.
That is such a terrible
Like
idea.
Yellowstone? What the fuck is wrong with you?
well, I've been planning this tattoo. I mean, this branding since like high school. I just haven't done it yet, so
Well,
I'm gonna
stop.
get it done.
Just
There's
stop.
a reason you have
There's
I know,
actually,
Vagabond. I'm starting to
Don't do
think that
that.
you're just the problem here. Like, I'm
They've
starting to
actually updated the branding sort of technology now, so you can actually use what they actually
Ice.
use now is liquid
nitrogen.
nitrogen.
Yeah.
I've
Get
seen
that
that,
done
but
instead.
I
Yeah, he's
haven't
not
seen
gonna do
any. I haven't seen any results like years later on those ones. So I might just do the
It works
hot
better
iron
for
one
fur,
still.
like
That's
for
right, because the
livestock.
cows
You're
don't
just-
last that long,
you're-
do they?
Makes the hair
Well,
white.
okay, because what I know is like normally it's like they shave the horse, right, and or like goat or whatever, and they do the ice branding, and where the hair grows back, it comes out white instead.
Yeah.
But I'm not that hairy. Make you believe so. So
Wait a
I'm
minute.
just gonna-
Wait a minute.
Wait.
I think I think BS Ward just threw the most low-key "you're old" joke out here ever by saying the guy I went to high school with that has a Hypnotoad tattoo is Joe Biden. Well fucking done, you asshole.
Maybe that's why you always, after every interview, he's like turning around with that look. It was like, oh dang it. Hopefully no one knows what's behind my back.
I wonder who knows.
When Joe Biden was in high school, it was still fucking Sunday school, and that was the only school that they had. That's how long ago it was.
He watched the pyramids being built.
Yeah,
Warren
doing his math on a shovel with charcoal. I think I heard that story before.
Hey, Battsauce, what kind of tattoo do you have, man?
Don't worry about it.
No.
Do you want to know about my tattoos?
Let's go.
I got a few. Why?
Full lolicon waifu sleeve. Or...
Yeah.
Did you get any of
There's a
those?
penis in there somewhere. We all know it is.
Whoa, what's going on, buddy?
See that?
Wait, it's there. I can't get one.
What the hell?
I thought he was about to show us his feet.
One of the most creative one of the most creative tattoos I ever saw.
It's the Batman symbol. It's the red hood.
Oh, nice.
No, so it was like it was this big sort of mural that went down the side of this guy's body, right? And it went round the back of him. And this is God's honest truth. You can search it up, right? And it's the Queen on a fox hunt, Queen Elizabeth on a fox hunt, but the tail, it's coming out of the dude's butthole, so that it looks like the fox has gone into his butthole, and it's Queen Elizabeth chasing this fox into his butthole. Yeah.
Let's see here.
The most British thing I've ever heard.
Queen Elizabeth fox hunt tattoo. If that doesn't give me that result, then I'm going to call BS here. Queen Elizabeth fox hunt tattoo. I can't share my screen because with Google, you never know what you're going to get from the search results.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it'll be more questionable if you use Bing.
He's Edge, actually.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've been using Opera GX.
We're waiting with bated breath to find the butthole fox.
Right.
No. All the ones
You're
I'm
not
finding are
anything.
quite respectful and
Okay.
Turn off the save search and then get back to it. Possibly.
You might be right about that.
Turn off save search, type in butthole, see what happens. You're gonna get.
Well, this won't be the first time I'm putting butthole in the search bar. Here we go.
It's not gonna be the last.
And
Kamala Harris.
I have nothing here I can share, nor do I want
my
to.
hardest to find it now.
Jack will find it, I'm sure.
We should all try it and see what results we get.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not either. I'm not risking it.
You guys can do that.
What up, Z-Kid?
Good. I would rather not see a man's butthole. I'm okay. I can go my entire life without that. Thank you.
Apparently, it's on YouTube where he's putting some cream on, and everyone on the X had to talk about it for whatever reason.
Who?
What?
You don't remember that? Like last year or the year before, there was like some gay dude on YouTube was putting some how the Nair cream or some shit or whatever, and like every person on like Twitter and their baby mama was like talking about this dude.
What?
Holy shit! I wish I hadn't have typed that in now.
I know, right? The results aren't pleasant.
If it's disturbing even Jack, like that's not good.
So let's see what else.
It just a whole bunch of porn just showed up on my screen.
Why? The sunglasses are reflecting the screen.
Reflecting the porn, dude.
I searched for butthole. It just got all this porn. You can't trust the internet with anything these days.
Forgot to add tattoo and fox hunt. I just typed in.
Y'all remember going on people's computers and typing in meat spin and then walking away?
Dude, my
turning the monitor off
at college.
I tried.
College would do
People
that.
trying to get me into that, but I kept hearing that name
What do you mean get into it? No, it's a joke. You go to your friend's computer, you put the beat spin on, some dude getting fucked in the ass with his dick spinning.
Well,
you close the monitor, you walk away. So next time he pops up, he's like, "Oh shit!" What the fuck?
I won't say that, but I have got kicked out of the UCSD library, and me and some friends, we were at the very top floor. We were.
Wait, was this?
Clearly, he was doing something that got him kicked out.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to incriminate myself on the internet, but I can tell you guys the backstage. But then we also accidentally flooded one of the science buildings at UCSD.
Wait, that's worse. Is it? What did you do in the library that was worse than that?
Oh, I'll tell you when we're after the stream. Like,
I'm waiting for someone in chat to go. That was you.
Luckily, I ran fast enough so they couldn't press charges against me.
In college, they would the second, like if I was on my computer writing something or doing something, if I went to take a piss, immediately they would run to my computer, look up porn in as many tabs as they can.
Yeah, meat spin.
Porn. No, it wasn't that. They would go. They would look up like Steam. They'd look up porn games. They'd look up porn on my browser. They'd take my 3DS. Which it wasn't even using, and look up porn on the 3DS, take pictures of it on the 3DS. So I would have to do this whole thing just because I wanted to pee.
Vaughn,
Your friends are sadistic.
No, you're a grown man now. You can't get grounded. You don't have to keep going along with this story. I don't think you're going to get in trouble for your search history. The statutory limitations has long since expired.
Statutory limitations.
Whatever the word is.
My
Statute of limitations. There we go.
My brother's friend went into his Amazon Prime account and just put no shit, 100 sex toys into his fucking cart. I didn't know he shared the account with my mom. So my mom was like, "What's going on? What's wrong with the Amazon?"
They're calling me, asking me if I'm okay. I don't know what to tell them,
dude. My friends
so many.
Even worse. You got 100 sex toys in your cart. You empty only 99 of them. It's like, Mom, no!
Dude, I was on a stream the other day, and I haven't used my Switch in years, but when my friends would be here, we'd look up stuff on YouTube to have in the background. And I guess this must have been years ago, or I could have been not that long. I was using my Switch YouTube on stream, and the way to search was funny vomit videos. I'm like, why the fuck would my friends search that up? But apparently, the joke went unnoticed for so long that, of course, it comes up on a live. I'm like, I did not search this. So.
Sure.
I'm mad that I can't find this fucking tattoo now. Because it's like you say, it's like I'm calling bullshit, and it's like, no, I can't let you call bullshit on this because I've seen it and I know that it exists.
In his dreams?
Are you sure it wasn't you when you were drunk?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe I dreamt it.
He leaves camera, comes back like the character from Red Dragon, just like, "You're about to witness my greatest."
You're about to witness the challenge of street knowledge.
Well, the funniest tattoos I've seen is so if in San Diego, in LA, but mainly San Diego is Pacific Beach area, Mission Beach or whatever, and they got these tattoo shops along the beach for drunk women and dudes that come walk there and be like, "I want that one," where they got the pre-selected ones they have or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? With they got all the selection instead of "Oh, I'm coming up with something on the top of my head" or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just pick one from the from the wall. Yeah, never do that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What the hell?
So dead air.
Yeah.
I was trying to find
that
another tattoo list, but let's move on to the next topic. So what else we got on the agenda tonight?
I think it was Trump.
Is it not
yeah.
We're going to talk about Trump. I thought we were going to talk about my cock and balls.
Oh, did anything important happen with Trump this
that
week?
would be.
Golden Age of
You want
America.
to start on that? We can start.
Yeah. Well, I got a cock and balls, and they're great. Anyone want to see?
No. Moving on.
Okay, guys.
Well, I will say this.
And our stream is done.
Hey, I got this rash in my crotch. You gotta tell me what it is.
Well,
I keep getting this
Trump,
large swelling in the evening. I was
It
wondering
smells
if
like
you guys
almonds. Is that a good thing?
Oh god damn.
I had a rough night, Liverpool. Is this normal?
All right, let's move past the degeneracy. Let's get to some
well, speaking of dicks, did you see that Haitian guy being deported?
Stuck one too many donuts.
Yes,
So did he actually get deported?
I heard about
Yeah, he
that.
did.
Yeah, let me pull that
Yeah,
up.
so I
real
saw the
quick.
video of him saying, "I don't give a fuck," Joe Biden all the way. I'm not ever going to get deported. And then the
deported.
government official turning around and saying, "Well, sorry to say, but he's definitely getting deported. So he's been deported now."
I ain't never getting deported. The fuck you aren't.
Like, do you know who's president? Do you know who the head of ICE is right now? You're gone, buddy.
Well, we all know it's not
I'll go ahead
Obama
and pull
anymore.
this up.
He was very upset
Hey guys,
about Joe Biden losing the presidency.
real quick, I think as it's been having fun, but I do want to be responsible. I got to wake up super early tomorrow, so I'm gonna hop off.
Oh.
But thank you guys so much. As always, great show. And even with Battsauce here, it's still a good show.
Better.
It was just better before he
prepare
got
his
here for you,
defense.
All right, man. Well,
Fun?
Part? Oh, yeah, I can promote something. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I've
go
got
for
my
it.
my YouTube channel. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you do so. I've been posting a lot. I post every day that I can. Follow me on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to. I also have my comic book, Phenomenova. You got issue 1 you could get on my website now, or you can also back the campaign for issue 2. I've got it on Fund My Comic on Indiegogo. So go ahead and back that if you have any interest whatsoever. You could also, if you're like, I don't trust this Vaughn Coleman guy, I don't know if I like Phenomenova, you could read the first 10 pages for free, linking off from my website if you go to Digital Comics. And then when you're like, this is incredible, there are digital options available.
And you
Yes,
will.
Global Comics. There are digital digital comics and they're physical. So if you can't afford the physical, if you just prefer digital, that's an option, cheaper option too. Either way, you can get the book, and it's mostly lettered. It'll be done soon. So thank you guys.
his mom is editing the editor as we speak.
No, she's not. She's sleeping.
She's looking the envelope as we right now.
Joking aside, I have read issue 1. I freaking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The only thing keeping this thing from going nuclear is just getting more eyes on it. So if you got a few bucks,
marketing.
definitely grab it. It is well worth it.
Thank you.
And a lot of us should be getting more money once you make your phone call to your local ICE and deport some people.
There's always that.
You want me to start doing that? Will that be like this will somehow help Phenomenova get funded?
In a roundabout way, yeah.
Back Phenomenova by deporting illegal. Well, on that
With
note,
each issue sold, that's an illegal, a gun or whatever. I don't know.
They're flying off the shelves for some reason.
All right, well, on that note, thank you guys so much. Peace out.
Good to see you
later,
buddy.
man.
Yeah. Well, I guess
But you heard it here first, boys and girls. Vaughn Coleman has issues. For sale.
He has issues. Yes.
Yes, multiple, and he's giving them to everybody else.
Yes.
He has issues, but then he also has stuff to sell.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Lawrence Knight has got a very good idea in the chat there.
Oh, Lawrence.
Bring me over. I'll come into the country illegally through the Mexican border, and then you can tell them that I'm an illegal immigrant. Get yourself some money, and I'll just keep coming back.
You know what Trump should do? Just be a dick. When that guy's like, I'm not going back to Haiti. He should just accidentally like drop him off in the Sudan. It's like, just start deporting people to like the wrong locations.
Well, you're not from here. You look like you're from here. I'm sorry. Oh, well, we can't take you back. You're here.
I'm sure that's gonna happen.
I swear the paperwork said that he was from France. That's not my problem.
Now,
it probably will happen. I don't really care though. Like
He'll probably get like roasted and eaten by that one Haitian warlord because that place is an absolute animal house. My God.
We're sending the Puerto Ricans to Mexico too.
Wasn't it just a while ago that Conan O'Brien and everybody else was saying what a paradise Haiti was, and it was, not a quote unquote shithole.
Yeah, General Barbecue is a figment of your imagination.
Right.
Well, considering the fact that the Clintons have grifted so much money from people and under the presumption that they're going to give to Haiti, and how look what that's done. So no wonder they're covering for all that.
We're going to send them to Rwanda.
Gotta pull that.
Beautiful
I'm
place.
gonna pull it up right now.
That's a good Trump.
All right, here we go.
In recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
You're making the case for yourself so succinctly, buddy.
Well, they forget Obama was deporter in chief.
Has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery.
Right.
This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction. And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies.
I love
And
this
in a
next
sign of
bit.
shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your.
Now I'm not seeing too many of like well-to-do doctors, engineers, just working class Joes.
Nope, they're all
women,
criminals.
mothers, families.
Yeah,
Well,
they're not sending their best folk.
No, someone's Meemaw was crying at the border, man. We just need to
I
let
saw
everyone
that.
in now.
Surrounded by like half a dozen cameras. Yeah, there's not a single tear running down her face. Formative bullshit. But that's the thing.
How long
never
before we
promised
find her
people-
IMDb page?
Oh yeah. Well, it's about as performative. as
AOC
driving
crying
up
at the border was more
Yeah.
convincing than her.
Yeah. At least because you can tell she was all performative because she looked up at the camera like bullshit. You know it's there. You're putting on a show. But this just for everybody's bloviating, and even some people in my circle, they're bloviating about this. He's deporting innocent people. Like, no, Trump never said that. Trump promised to deport criminals, violent people, drug offenders, armed robbery, rapists. Poor austere religious scholars. Like, no, he's not going after people. Now, if you get caught, ICE has no choice. But he's not going after people who are productive members of society, despite the fact their first act here is to become a criminal. He's not going after.
He'll get to them later.
Violent gang member. Yeah, I'll get to them later.
But
I don't think he actually will.
That's another
He's
thing,
going after
Strider. Right? Even if they weren't rapists, even if they weren't murderers, drug dealers, all that kind of stuff, right? The simple fact that they crossed the border illegally makes them not innocent.
Yeah.
They are illegal.
You're not supposed to be here.
You broke into the country. You are a criminal.
And the thing is, businesses get away with hiring illegals constantly because they don't have to pay taxes on. They don't have to pay tax on these people when they're paying them cash. They're paying them under the table, and everybody wins. We get cheap labor. But I love the totally not racist leftist talking point of who's gonna clean our houses and pick our crops and wash our dishes. Like, you realize who's gonna do our nastiest labor for slave wages? That's the case.
And that's a big thing, because people will do these jobs. You have to pay them fairly to do them. They don't want to do that.
Well, the problem is taxes. If you're being taxed to death or whatever, and you need I need over 100 and something people to go pick some strawberries or some shit. So it boils back down to government. It's the same reason why we got companies starting businesses and having their factories in China and stuff like that, is because they're being taxed to death, and all them folks are like, oh, let's tax the 1%. Like, no, this just get rid of taxes for everybody. Fuck that shit.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Did anyone
if you solve that problem, then it would solve the other problems too.
Did anyone see that meme flying around on Twitter? And it's like two piece top and bottom. It's like 1870 something. Who's going to pick our crops if we don't have slaves? And then it's like in the 2025, who's going to pick our crops if we deport them all?
Yeah.
Democrats then, Democrats now.
Who's going to clean my toilets if we get rid of all the Mexicans?
Exactly.
No ass poo poo. No ass poo poo.
Speaking of Mexicans,
Pelosi say that same thing. Who's gonna garden? Who's gonna mow your lawn and maintain your garden? Like what?
Yeah. Speaking of Mexicans, Pringles got elotes flavored Pringles chip.
I have tried those. Those are pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they put too much lime in it, but yeah, they're pretty decent. But I mean, I call it elotes. I'm from San Diego, so.
Yeah, we make an elotes slaw that was pretty good. Kind of ended up making it on accident. We had the leftover corn, had all the stuff to make coleslaw, and just kind of whipped it together. Turned out to be fucking good. I've been making that on purpose on the 4th of July ever since.
So what about that what's it called? Not a priest. What are the fuck
the
that
bishop.
woman was?
That fucking heretic.
The heretic. That's what we call them, heretic.
Exactly. That was insane, man.
I was telling Iron and Selena before we came on here. I had a fun story about that. So apparently, I go to a rather. Well, I'm finding out more now. I'm attending a rather more liberal church than I originally thought, because there's a fun little post going around, being reposted by a bunch of fake Christians. Well, they're not fake. I don't want to say that, but a bunch of leftists who are using Jesus to justify their leftist positions, even though it's not okay when I do it, but saying something to the effect of just taking that witch's words at face value with the whole mercy and love and bullshit, and then Trump dismissing it immediately. Was they have such an issue with that, and they said the people who would have an issue with that sermon will have an issue with the Sermon on the Mount. Yeah, sure. Let's compare a leftist activist who, by the way, called the summer of 2020, where there was rioting, looting, murders, and destruction all across the country. She called it a sacred moment. Let's not pretend, because I actually watched as much of the sermon as I could. It was all just a leftist screed masquerading as a sermon. There was nothing Christian.
There's a reason. There's a reason. 1 Timothy says that I do not permit a woman to teach, and you're seeing that in real time right now. So let's say 1 Timothy is undefeated.
I mean, in this woman's case,
JD Vance's face.
She's just an activist. She was out there.
Yeah, this is a great argument.
This one, and a bunch of people in my church are falling for it and being like, "This is like the Sermon on the Mount." Like, yeah, a leftist activist, totally comparable to Jesus Christ, and a sermon that was using trans kids as a legitimate term is totally the same as the Sermon on the Mount. Go fuck yourselves.
Right.
Yeah, you should probably look for a new church.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say it.
I'm gonna see this Sunday, because, well, here's another thing. After the election, it was very clear what side my pastor was on, and the whole service was actually rather dour and very low in spirits. It was very, very strange. So I can only guess what he's going to talk about on Sunday. So we'll see. Yeah, it's true. I still love the insult. I haven't seen Democrats this mad since we took their slaves.
I know.
I laugh every time.
So she's a bishop. What denomination was she with? I'm not even familiar.
Yeah, I think it's the Episcopal.
By the way, the Daily Wire did a really good investigation into this. Apparently, the Episcopal Church is one of the most inculcated with Marxist ideology since the Cold War. And this actually did happen. We have proof of this. Since the Berlin Wall fell, we now know the full scope of the Stalin era Soviet propaganda machine everywhere, from TV to Hollywood to intelligentsia to books, all of that, and especially religion, because all they have to do is couch their Marxist ideology into like the genuine Christian desire to help your fellow man and to be a good person. They couched all of their Marxist bullshit into Christian ideology, which does not fit, by the way, because here's the difference between like Christianity and socialism. Socialism has a gun to your head to donate to give to your fellow man. Jesus asked that you do so willingly. Completely different, but then people say Jesus is a socialist. Go fuck yourselves. But the Episcopal Church is especially inculcated with all the Marxist ideology and has been for the past half century.
Gross. But this isn't. This is the reaction that they had while she was talking. I think this is wholesome.
Let us pray for the most vulnerable in our community, our neighbors.
Fucking J.D. Vance.
He's just laughing.
Vulnerable in
Now, see, Trump looks genuinely annoyed where he's actually cracking up.
I mean, what else can you
That's so
do?
funny. The most vulnerable? You mean the people that are supported by Hollywood, TV, video games, comic books, every entertainment media, including an entire half of a political establishment? Yeah, they're the vulnerable ones? Go fuck yourself.
Well,
look,
I mean,
not
as
only
we saw, they were rapists and
they're protected
assaulters.
class. Like,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think Laken Riley was pretty vulnerable. I think all
Yeah.
those kids that are going to grow up regretting decisions that were made for them before they, were old enough to make even a alcohol or tobacco purchase. I think they're pretty fucking vulnerable too.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is what I don't get about leftists. They won't spank their kids, but they'll chop off their nuts.
Interesting how that works.
Well, I
What's
just said
cool,
that, I was into the whole goth thing growing up. And if my mom were a fucking crazy lunatic like parents today, I would have had my, fucking black nail polish and mohawk surgically implanted on my scalp and would never be able to get rid of the goddamn thing or get a job when I hit 25. I mean,
the thing is, these surgeries, they are permanent. They are awful. They are torture. Like, it is, I cannot imagine the pain. But kids can't consent to it on their own. Kids can't not sign on the dotted line. The parents have to do that as well. What on God's green earth is a parent doing saying, hey, by the way, you're not going to have a normal growing up. You're not going to have a normal puberty, kid. I'm going to shove hormones down your face, puberty blockers in your ass. I'm going to make sure that you never live a normal life again because I want a virtue signal to a world that is all too willing to hoist me up as parent of the year. And I'm going to use you as the accessory to get there. Like, I hate
just for social media clout or clout at the tennis club or just good old fashioned Munchausen by proxy.
Yep.
Well, here's the funny thing about all this too. There's a literal documentary on, I believe, National Geographic, where you got people who want, like, they go to their doctors and be like, I want to be disabled. Can you make me blind? And the doctors will refuse it. And these are grown adults. Oh, I want to remove my arm because I want to be trans disabled. Doctors will refuse to do so. But you could take 5-year-old little Johnny to the doctor and, Johnny feels like a girl. What can we do? And then they will, well, sure thing. Let's sign him right up. Oh, we'll sign her right up or whatever. It's malpractice. Any doctor that does it should be I don't even think in jail, capital punishment, honestly. The kids can't consent.
They're breaking their number one oath as a doctor to do no harm, and that is the most harmful thing they can do, man.
Well,
it seems to be happening to these younger girls because they seem to be more vulnerable. As maybe it's more easy to convince an adolescent girl to lop off the tits because they're uncomfortable going
experience body dysmorphia disproportionately to men. Which is the biggest reason. But I mean, like, even going to a smaller scale with the surgery, like, the amount of plastic surgery that's going on and like the people that you see there are just all plastic, and it's like, how is that doctor not in jail? Like, that doesn't make sense. We know that like 5 surgeries ago, this was doing damage to her. So it's like, somebody investigate this. Somebody take that dude's license away and then throw him in jail. Like, I don't know. It's it's crazy.
I think
any doctor who has done this needs to be thrown into fucking jail.
Well, obviously, capital punishment.
You misspelled
that's my
active volcano, but yeah, I'll take it.
So there was this thing that the Chileans used to do, right? They used to throw people out of helicopters. I think we should probably look into
Pinochet's helicopter ride. Shout out.
Yeah, right.
If Trump would do this, but I don't think he would. I think he's already got his hands full. I 100% think he would go after doctors to do that. Who do that? He would. I think he absolutely
doesn't take a lot to have Trump's hands full, though. They're so small.
Perfectly normal.
I don't know. I think probably midway through, after they kind of go through the priority list, that one should be on the top, in my opinion. But I think they're gonna figure out the best way to do it. just from what we've been seeing, and has this been a full week since inauguration?
No, it's like 3 days.
He's done so much.
God, it feels
like
like
4 days.
North Carolina, like that
was huge.
Sending there, somehow
Even
Biden,
Biden
do that.
promised LA 100% coverage, but we forgetting that North Carolina still exists. They're still living in tents. They're still living in like Quonset huts. It's insane.
Well, you watched the press conference from North Carolina today, Strider?
Yeah. Lowering the mic for the lady, like that is classic Trump. I don't know how anyone can say he's such a mean man. Like, do you see his everyday interactions with people? He likes being around people, and it seems like he actually genuinely cares about people. Otherwise, like Biden, who looks at a man's watch as 13 service members he got killed or paraded past him. Fuck that piece of shit. But Trump is standing. He's there. And he's listening to people and he's giving them the mic. He's not sitting there speaking and addressing everybody else like they're a puppet or a handbag or something. They're not accessories. He's letting them speak.
Well, my favorite part was while they were talking, he almost forgot that the whole thing was being televised. He was focused on them and he's like, they were talking about how their insurance company was dicking him over, one family. And he's like, what's the name of your insurance company? I want their name. Write that down. What about this? He's asking them all these questions and they keep like, am I supposed to talk to you or to the cameras? I don't know what to do.
He's such a personable guy. Because if you watch the parade of the whatever that was at the Capital One Center, that when all the families of the victims of the October 7th attack are up there, he's talking to all of them. He's having full-on conversations. They're trying to file past him. They're trying to keep going, but he keeps talking to them and engaging with them. Like, this is the side of Trump that nobody gets to see. Nobody is bothering to look at. Like, it may very well be a performance. It may very well be fake as hell, but you know what? It's effective. Because the focus is not on him, the focus is on everybody else, and I kind of love that. Every time the man steps on a stage, I love him even more.
It's pretty consistent with how he's always been, though. That's why I don't think it's an act, because he was like this before he was fully engaged in politics. He did things for people on a very regular basis, would make appearances to different, disasters, especially if they happen, near to where he lived. He would always go out and kind of assess the situation. Yeah, he was on TV at the same time, but he was still engaged with people and doing things for him. That's not out of character.
Well, even if it is an act, right? All I can see is that he's getting shit done and he's serving the American people. That's what they voted for. This is why he's in there and Kamala isn't.
Yep, because they see his authenticity. Because he's always the first one down at a disaster. He's always the first one handing out supplies and investigating everything even before he's president. Like, he's acting presidential even while he wasn't president.
Right, and that's why I think I think we're going to see not an immediate cure to TDS, but we're going to see it kind of start to dwindle and definitely lose popularity. Because even on the mainstream, they've been saying, well, we may not like him, but he's certainly done a lot in just a few days.
I think this was breaking news from 2 hours ago. So, Trump went down to LA because of the fires, right?
Right.
And he was speaking. I don't know if someone can post it. I'm posting in our Twitter group.
I'll pull it up right now. You want to put it in the private chat? I'll pull it up.
Oh, I put in I'll freeze up if I do that. So I put it in their Twitter group. So basically, the Corecast one.
Gotcha.
So basically, 2 hours ago, he confronted the mayor of LA about what's going on.
Oh, let's check. Right. Okay, I haven't seen this.
I bet that chapped her ass.
Now. You want to talk about fake? She walks around with that fake little plastic smile every time you see her, even when they're saying, like, why did you go to Africa? How come you weren't here? Why is there no water in the fire hydrants? And she's just like, I don't know.
You know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of the gremlin that dresses in drag.
Yes.
That's what she reminds me of.
Yes.
Dude, Melania Trump and like
my favorite gremlin, by the way.
And her like hiding her eyes under all these hats is very like. Is she an assassin? Like, what the fuck?
I know she's playing up her.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Like her biopic's gonna be fucking called Scorned or something.
She has entered her dark era, and I love it. I want Grand Moff Tarkin Melania, please.
Melania is the anime character that's turning around and saying, "I haven't even begun to use my full power yet."
You made me use 20% of my power.
This is only my first sword form. Get ready for Bankai, and then all of a sudden it cuts to the next episode.
I mean, you got to think, her family, they go in after her and her only kid. I believe they only have the one kid, Baron, right? And all that with the FBI raid, with them being authorized to use deadly force, not knowing that they weren't home.
What did Baron say to Biden?
I've got that ready
question.
I've got that pulled up too, so we'll watch that in just a second. There's so many good answers in the comments for that. But here, let's check this out.
Going to be President 2040 again.
By the time he's 8 foot tall, we'll be voting for him.
Fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. We want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
And they can.
You should let them do it because by the time you hire contractors, it's going to be 2 years.
If a family,
the people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out,
and they can.
There's not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours. And that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot. I think you have emergency powers just like I do. And I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything.
She's never exercised in her fucking life.
No.
I love how Trump can just spout those numbers off because he knows this shit. He is a builder. He knows this shit through and through. He lost buildings. He lost property during 9/11. Like, he knows how this works.
And he knows about all the bureaucrat red tape that just gets in the way, leaving that shit there to rot for, like he just said, years while they go through and get all the proper permits and all of the permissions and all of this and all of this, and then going back, having it double checked. Oh, you messed it. There's a typo. Got to start over.
Well, notice what she said. You know what he said too. It's city. It's people who have it's vendors. It's like preferred city contracts. They have their preferred vendors. We saw that all during North Carolina, whenever FEMA was telling you, no, you cannot deliver these supplies to your neighbors because we have our preferred vendors. That was their reason. Not, it's not safe. We can't guarantee you'll make it out alive. We don't know what's up there. Not people's safety. No, we have our preferred vendors. Therefore, you cannot carry water to people who have been parched for 4 days. That's what this all boils down to. It is government corruption at the highest level, up to the fucking mayor, and nobody's surprised. But Trump was like, "No, I'm done. No, we're not. You're not going to let people. You're not going to make people do this. I'm going to call you out." And I appreciate that. I think the entire LA. If you do not vote MAGA for the next 10 years, you're stupid.
I agree.
And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon. We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important thing is for people
time
to be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing, and I say, "Why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit." And the permit's going to take them. Everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months. And that was last night.
On that.
So I'm reading right here, right? From 1.5 hours ago. The health officer issued an order prohibiting cleanup or removal of fire debris at fire damaged and burned properties located in critical fire areas until hazardous materials inspection is completed by an approved government agency. I'm reading it right now, and this is from LA Public Health.
Yeah. And they totally have the manpower to do that.
Look, so here's what they can do, because I used to, for those who don't know, I used to work a tree service shortly. So all you have to do is, like, here's what the city can do. If it's going to be dangerous, if everything's burnt down on a certain street, they can shut down the power on the power lines going to that neighborhood or whatever neighborhoods that are burnt down, so people can go there, do what they have to do, and clear up what they want to clear up, salvage what they can, or whatnot. But being not allowed to do that, like, it's really, like Trump said, it's the easiest shit they can do, and it's just the incompetency of the fucking mayor. And I mean, I can't say what to do online because I'm not trying to get me in trouble and the stream taken down. But but like, it's all the incompetency of the mayor. And like, even my hometown in San Diego is being burnt right now in Otay, and it's a whole different story. I mean, I think like 8 hours ago they had 10% of the fire contained. It's a tale of two cities right now. So you see one that had no water to do anything and all that type of stuff, and you got another one that's more prepared, and they're literally two cities that are neighbors of each other, or two counties. So it's all incompetency pretty much.
Well, I mean, the way that I'm looking at this right now is that this interview or this meeting that they're having, both sides are actually telling the truth. Because she's saying they can go back and clean up their shit, but Donald Trump is saying, yeah, but they're going to have to wait to do it until a government-approved agency says that it's okay to go and do it. It's like, so yeah, okay, Mayor, you might be right. They may be able to go and clean up their shit, but when? When can they go and clean up their shit? They want to do it right now. That's the argument. And you've got the manpower and the resources to get it expedited.
Well, I think what he's hinting at too is she can, with her power, she can declare a state of emergency. The state of emergency is going to be like, all right, normally we do these procedures when there's not an emergency or a natural disaster or anything. We're going to ignore all those, allow people to do what they have to do, and she refuses to do that, and that's the problem.
Because I also heard something interesting. Because obviously if you own property, you have to pay property tax, but you also have to pay more for a house that's on there. So you have to pay more taxes for if you build a house on it. So no doubt, and I think it was actually Troy Duffy at the Nerdrotic Nooner the other day who mentioned this. There, as far as we know, the property taxes are still in place. Even if you do still own a lot, if there's no house there, you're probably still paying you're probably still paying taxes on a house that isn't even there. And so the mayor absolutely could put an easement on that and say, like, no, we're not, no, here's all you're going to be. And if she was smart, if she had two brain cells to rub together up there, she would probably she would eliminate taxes altogether and bring back businesses, build back stuff back up. What was interesting though, that whole city has their balls in a vice by the environmental groups.
Well, okay, I think the property tax is going to be that would be Gavin Newsom's job.
It would, okay.
He's not letting go of anybody's money ever.
Oh no.
And supposedly there's a rumor that he's invested in all kinds of companies that would turn those areas that were burnt down from regular housing zones into a type of apartments and stuff like that. So that's the other shady stuff that's rumored going on right now.
Well, I was under the impression, I was sort of like toying with the conspiracy theory that they wanted to build like solar farms and stuff, that develop solar farms. That's while let's just pretend for a second that these fires are deliberate, that they just wanted to literally burn down LA so that they could rebuild with all these fucking, solar farms and that kind of stuff.
15 minutes.
I believe that's probably at a certain areas, like but I think in the majority of it. So LA is one of the most congested cities in all of California, and one of your largest populations in all of California. So the way I see it is, what's a good way to make money off of people is build housing to where a lot that would normally be a house for a one individual family, to have it as a multi-family home, and you fill it up with as many people as you can in there. And and suppose you're going to solve your homeless population, quote unquote, as well too.
They'll still shit on the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They will.
Oh yeah.
You can give them
Man.
food, you can give them space, but they're still going to shit on the streets because they're still junkies and they're still.
There's a aerial picture of a area. I forget where I seen it on Twitter, where it was a group of houses, and it showed over the years where everyone else sold their lot and house, and like each lot had like a big yard space. Like each lot was about a minimum of 1 or 2 acres each. And the one guy that didn't sell his is this one house and surrounded by apartments and buildings, and in the future. So that's kind of what's going. I think is the prediction that'll happen is they're going to zone it to a construction for apartments instead of regular residential for like single houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably try to turn it into kind of their version of a 15-minute city as well.
Yeah. I think that's that was part of the conspiracy theory for the Lahaina fire in Maui, is that there was a huge push by the federal government of the mayor of Maui or the governor of Hawaii to try to turn Lahaina specifically into like one of those 15-minute cities. And I've been to Lahaina. Like it's not that big. You could easily it is a 15-minute city. It is not that big. But they weren't going along with this federal push, and no doubt we know that the people who are behind Biden are globalist assholes. So no doubt they were trying to use the power of the president, the executive power, to put pressure on them to turn it into this ideal to accomplish their goals. The people of Lahaina be damned. So, and they were already talking within, like Lahaina was still like the coals were still hot, and they were talking, and there were other people, not the mayor was talking, but other people were saying, well, maybe this is the time, like other media talking heads, maybe this is the time to rebuild Lahaina into a 15-minute city with public transit and all that. But here's the thing about, and this is what I guarantee they're trying to do with LA, because that light rail still hasn't been built. How many billions of dollars have been put into there? But no doubt they're going to try to beef up the infrastructure in an inconvenient way. They're going to try to beef up public transportation like crazy, buses, bicycles, all that, whatever. Maybe some trains here and there, but it's all meant as an avenue of control. It's not for convenience. It's not cheap. It's not convenient. It's just all so the city can exercise control over its citizens. And California, and especially LA, is the exact place to do it.
Well, here's what's probably most likely going to happen. So, since your house is gone, you don't have that equity in there anymore. You just own the lot. So you're definitely not getting the value that you got the house at originally or whatever. So you could sell your lot to the city and we'll buy it off of you at a very discounted rate. And that's what's going to, some people, they just lost everything, and this is the best option they supposedly got, and they're not going to hold their guns out. And so be like, okay, well, what else am I supposed to do? Lose their family lot or whatever, and try to salvage what they can. So I think it's real shady stuff. I don't think they wanted to help in the first place. And I no longer live in California, so they can sue me for defamation if they want, or whatever. I just
say defamation if it's true.
I'm serious. And go ahead. I'm not gonna have a certain lawyer with certain powder in his house. But
I kind of wonder if maybe some of the shady shit that we know is going to happen, like we know that there's going to be reports of people people getting ripped off, and people being offered pennies on the dollar for like real estate that they should be paid millions and millions for.
Well, I saw the videos of Hawaii. They already did that in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it stands to reason that those same pieces of shit are going to do that and are going to do that in LA. Because I mean, you got LA is the most populous state. It's also the richest state. It's got a GDP of like a large country. So it just on its own. I mean, but oddly enough, it's still, despite being one of the larger states, the real estate is like at a prime price because there's not much of it, because the entire eastern half of the state is desert. There's nothing there. But I guarantee you, where I kind of wonder if maybe we're going to be seeing less of the blatant corruption than we would have if we would have had a different president. Because now we know, because all eyes are going to be on Trump, and Trump is going to be watching these people like a hawk, because he holds the keys for their 100% repayment plan that Biden promised them. Mm-hmm. So there's no doubt they're probably going to be on their best behavior. So maybe California could be a little bit better off under Trump than they would have Kamala was president, because Kamala would have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys, bye."
Oh, it would have just been business as usual, just like with Hawaii and everything else. It would have just been like she just laughed and walked away, and that would have been it.
Yeah, we're gonna send you $750.
Yeah,
that you have to pay back. Just go online to apply, and I think we're still going to see the corruption, but the thing is, there's going to be a lot more daylight on it than there was before with the previous administration, where they won't get away with nearly as much spin, because they won't have every single official backing them and saying that, no, everyone pointing it out that is wrong. They're the bad ones, not us.
Yeah.
We'll leave the poor bankers and bureaucrats alone.
I'll say this: they don't believe in building out; they believe in building up. So that's where you're going to see building, like apartment buildings and stuff like that, where there used to be houses.
Yep, I agree. But here's something fun, real quick. Let me pull this up.
Baron, isn't it?
I love this.
With a fucking sword.
It just, what he does after is fantastic. And Melania's vibing. I love it.
She's having fun with him.
No, it's not. Okay.
Usha Vance. No, but after he cuts it, he's still like dancing around and kind of pointing it around.
Oh, I think I got that one too. Let me pull that up real quick.
Where can I get myself one of those cutlasses? I want a cutlass.
No, you can get it pretty cheap.
It's a marine sword, I believe.
I don't know if that's the NCO sword.
Look like
I don't think it is.
I can't tell, man. He's having a blast.
I know.
Was JD? Was he an officer or was he enlisted?
I think he was an
I imagine he'd be an officer. So that's not the officer's sword. I mean, definitely is the officer.
I don't think it'd be his. Yeah. Okay. It could just be.
Now, I thought the other party was the party of joy, and this was the party of hate and bigotry. I don't know. They seem like they're having a blast to me.
Well,
I'll go where the fun is. Thank you.
Look how diverse we are. We got some hillbilly who literally wrote a book about his whole life story. We got a beautiful young Indian woman as the second lady. We have Melania, who is foreign-born supermodel, and then we have the older white man Trump, who has been given so many like black awards across all like in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. I mean, yeah, you're right. Where is the joy on the Democrat side? It's all been astroturf bullshit. Nobody believed it. They see Trump, they see authenticity, they see a happy guy having fun. Which is
I found the Democrat joy. Hold on, let me pull up some pure joy right here.
Oh no, I can smell this photo.
Now, you see, I thought you were going to bring up Joy Reid.
Oh, is there audio in this one? Oh,
can you hear it?
Yeah, now we do.
I can't hear it.
Do you want to hear it?
There's no way. I'm not dealing with this for 4 years. Both of them.
God dropped you out of heaven and hit the ugly tree.
Get shot in the fucking face.
It's a female.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
Female Carl from Jimmy Neutron.
I was gonna say this little.
He
little
looks like
thing
Kyle.
looks
He looks
like
like
a
Kyle
character.
Broslovsky's cousin, Jewish Kyle.
Oh shit!
Hey
Oh,
guys,
What the hell is that thing?
I can't go outside without my inhaler.
See, I was thinking more along the lines of Netflix adaptation of Egon Spengler from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it wouldn't be redheaded, wouldn't be white.
Imagine.
No, apparently
No,
this
you're right.
little guy was going off about wanting to off Trump and
Mhm.
JD Vance.
Oh, honey. Oh, sweetie.
There's a lot of
baby.
them on
Oh,
TikTok right now
cute.
doing that. Like, yeah, and they're all tagging the FBI.
It's funny is they wouldn't be on TikTok at all.
Exactly.
Okay,
if it
hold
wasn't
on.
for Trump.
Here's the funniest thing about TikTok. So you know how it says like, oh well, thanks to Trump, we're able to stay here longer.
Yeah.
So Harry Sisson, that a French cigarette.
Oh yeah.
He went on X and was like, it's thanks to Biden, and then TikTok quote tweeted him and said, no, it's thanks to Trump.
Yep. He got fact checked by the platform themselves.
This is the thing, like the reaction from the left though this time is not as it's nowhere like even close to how sweet it was in 2016.
It's
Well,
really not.
I would disagree.
Dude,
it is
no,
it is
honey,
equal, but nobody's listening. But
Look-
people are laughing at them now. People because we know what Trump was like from 2016 to
all of
2020.
these
He
all
was
these
not-
videos on the screen, they're from 2016.
Yeah, these are old ones.
They're all from 2016 or 2018 or you know 20.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
these are-
I just want to show just so
100%.
basically this is weak in a nutshell for these people.
Some of them are complete
Yep. So I know.
I think that's what
One
hell
of them
sounds
is
like.
midterm.
Literally
I was
all of
right
them.
on the vinegar strokes then. I was just about to climax.
My favorite, it's this video, but somebody put it onto the computer screen of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, and then Christian Bale's character walks in and just calmly puts the headphones on and presses play, and they start screaming, just sitting there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, like that. The one on the bottom left is like the vape shop one. That was 2016. The top left one's 2016. Obviously,
on
the,
the top
green
right
vest.
was from a campus
That's the
event.
inauguration.
Yeah.
Like they're all from 2016, and I'm like, dude, that was like. I just remember being on YouTube just for hours and hours, just looking at all the compilations, being like, this is so insane.
Yeah, it was nowhere near that. There were a couple like weirdos out there with the guillotine and the rainbow flags on inauguration day. There probably weren't more than 50. I mean,
Dude, they
I
went
really-
with like a
31.
massive wave of pussy hats. Like
Yeah.
that
The
like
women's march
and they
was
were
insane.
blocking people from being able to go. It was like such they tore up DC like crazy that night.
Mhm.
Like it was
Where are
all
they
it was
now?
so insane. Yeah.
They're nowhere to be found now.
Yeah.
TDS is pretty much done because that was their time. As cold as it was, that was their time to show because it wasn't after the last inauguration. I mean, it still wasn't like deathly cold, but it was still cold. Like it kind of made me a little bit nervous. Everyone was still bundled up. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people out here. Like, what's going on? But now this time, there's nobody. Nobody's out there. Nobody gives
Hey,
a shit.
Trump's
Nobody
coming here
cares.
tonight, actually.
Oh,
He's here.
To
his
Vegas?
plane just-
Holy crap.
He just flew in, and he's gonna be at the Circa on Fremont.
Oh man.
Oh,
give
what
him
the
a
hell?
hug.
I'm like, should I go down there?
Do it.
I'm a little scared though.
Can I
After
come?
everything that,
Yeah, because we all were at that Trump Tower in Vegas.
yeah,
I'm gonna see if I
they
can
have
stay
it
there
blocked
next
off.
time.
That's why they had it blocked off tonight with a bunch of the whole roads
Cool.
are closed around Trump Tower.
Oh dang.
Oh wow.
That's
Shoot.
why.
Go there and get me that old fashioned.
Oh, I remember that.
No, I
One
was
that
like,
opened
what?
up with the-
Yeah,
shout out to Duke Devil.
Yeah, Duke Devil.
I'm probably gonna
apparently he just signed an executive order to release massive water flows from the north, aiming to send hundreds of millions of gallons of water, fresh water, into California that they were just diverting into the Pacific Ocean.
Interesting.
It's gonna keep California from burning itself down, though. Like, don't we want?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too, like growing up in California, was like we had fires. Like we literally had a fire day where it was like no one's allowed to. You know how we got like you watch like Nickelodeon. There's like, oh, cool, people get snow days. Well, I wonder what that's like. We get like fire days where the sky is red, like Batman the animated series. You got ash flying into your yard and stuff. No one's supposed to go to work or to school and stuff.
Just see ghetto kids making ash angles in the fucking sidewalk. What the fuck?
But not like
that's horrible.
No, so my dad, what we used to do is like my dad's like we'll hop in this Toyota Tundra and we just drive around and look at the different fires at the side, like after every embankment on freeways and this place burnt up. Let's go drive over here, and like driving past police and stuff to say and turn back around or whatever, just so we can see what's burnt up.
Oh, real quick, Darmoth for $2. Sorry, I didn't see your Rumble rant, man. It doesn't pop up on StreamYard for us, but he said, "What JackTarLad unfollowing?" Well, it was nice having you while it lasted.
I'm actually on his show on the 19th of February.
Wait. Oh, right on. I believe
it's going to be like the 11th time I've been on his show.
I've only been on with him once, and I'm going to be on with him again sometime in February too. I just got to check the date here real quick. Yeah, go subscribe to Darmo's channel. He's a lot of fun.
He sure is.
I'll be on the 15th.
His pay it forward the 15th of February.
Yeah.
He was doing his pay it forward stream earlier.
Oh, really? I'll have to go check that out in the replay. I had
if you don't know what the pay
like
forward
an hour just for this. Oh, go ahead.
If you don't know what the pay it forward stream is, he goes through a whole bunch of smaller creators' channels and he donates a certain amount, leaves a message, leaves a comment at the bottom, says hello in the chat, like stream snipes them, and then leaves a little donation for him, a Rumble rant.
That's awesome.
Oh,
you should go and check him out.
Amazing.
I'm definitely going to check that out. That's awesome, man. Darmoth is so cool.
Mm-hmm. I think he's actually got Tomby on tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Go subscribe to Tomby too.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, and wow, Az is 50. I had no fucking idea.
Yeah,
happy birthday,
Az.
Happy birthday, Az. He's not 50.
Damn, he old.
Yeah. But was there anything else we wanted to talk about the inauguration, or we can start wrapping up, go into memes, and call it a night?
Let's think about the inauguration.
Or just the last few days of Trump.
It's been great.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think he signed an executive order earlier saying that Rockstar Games have to release GTA 6 in 2025, and they have to release another trailer in the next week.
Nice.
Right.
Well,
We will keep it at $50. That's enough.
I don't know if you want to go over the what was it? The there was like the Biden's pardoning everyone and himself.
Oh boy.
He forgot to pardon himself or something.
Yes.
I know that he's just removed Anthony Fauci's security detail.
Yeah,
that happened today.
And his response to that was perfect. He said, well, they've made enough money. They can afford their own security.
I love the executive order withdrawing from the WHO. He's like, ooh, this is a big one. I love just watching them be signed because he has to comment on a little bit before. He's having so much fun.
The JFK, MLK, RFK files have been released as well.
Yeah,
I've been looking into some of those JFK videos.
I've been looking at the MLK stuff.
Those are going to take a long time to go through, though.
Maybe some of those.
Now, have they been fully redacted, or are they going to have to go back? Because I know he said before that if they try to redact too much, he's going to go back and demand that they declassify like literally everything.
Well, the MLK ones don't look that redacted, do they?
I think the
Well,
most
not
one
from-
was the Robert. I mean the JFK.
Yeah.
So that's
I
interesting.
think one of the JFK ones was like the CIA was planning to blow up a ship full of Navy by Cuba to start a war with them.
Not surprising.
It's funny that's been a conspiracy theory for a long time that we all knew was fucking real.
Well, I don't know. I think it was just they bringing a conspiracy up again. I haven't actually seen the JFK ones again, but
Yeah, it turns out anyway. It turns out anyway. It was Elon Musk who shot JFK.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, but like some people are saying it's the driver, and like the driver turned around and shot or whatever. Like,
Well, I've got to be honest with you. That video is pretty convincing.
It's been a long time about the driver. Yeah, and that it was hidden.
Or the fact that his security detail was suddenly given orders without any reason why to stand down.
Execute
Distance
Order
themselves from
66.
Yeah.
More
But
reason
I
why
wanna-
we need
I kind of
less
want to wait
government.
until somebody a lot smarter than me goes through it piece by piece.
Well,
Not
I'm going to
negative.
say, if anything of any of these are true, even the MLK ones, it's more reason why we need less government.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Government should not have a unilateral military or enforcement branch at all. FBI, CIA does not fucking matter.
Because, like, say
what-
the whole Guantanamo Bay thing is true, then it's like, oh, so they just like 9/11, they just sacrifice citizens whenever they want or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's collateral damage for the greater good. Whatever they want, however they want to frame it. It's always the ends justifies the means, and we're just the ends.
So
And
one
I'm
of the
glad
other
that
things that I heard about was that he's been shutting down like DEI roles in government agencies, and what some of these agencies have been doing is that they've just been renaming these DEI roles so that the people can keep their fucking jobs, that sort of thing.
Yep, they've been changing people with DEI specific job titles to just senior executive, giving them just a rebranding, in a different position so that they can keep their jobs. I don't think that that should not be allowed to work. So,
Well, I think the way it should was the probably the real way to get rid of it is you're going to have some type of rule where, okay, you know, just how you can report someone for sexual abuse in a job market or whatever, you can report your job for DEI practices or anything like that.
Good.
And that's probably the way to go around it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
snitch
we'll
on
have
the
to
people,
see.
because it's racism, it's discrimination, it is bigotry of every in every definition. But because it's against white people or in favor of minorities, and they legitimately think that minorities, and I hate that term, can't get ahead without them, which is in itself racist as shit. So yeah, let's
Well,
get rid of that.
he-
Let's get rid of this actual bigotry, please, in our culture and in our
He's
workplace. It'd be great.
He's rescinded Lyndon Johnson's affirmative action thing as well, hasn't he? So now you're going to have to rely on merit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I think businesses should be able to do what they want. It's just when it's forced in, that's the problem.
I agree with that actually, 100%.
Like, I don't like, okay, if a business, I should be able to hire all white people if I want. Like, I'm fine with discrimination. I know some of you are not going to like me saying this, but I think businesses should be allowed to, hey, if your business wants to hire people based on DEI, well, maybe my business wants to hire people strictly on their work ethic, and
Sure.
if they're able to actually perform, and if it happens to be all white people, so be it.
Yeah, or if a Christian company wants to hire exclusively, Christians. I mean, if you remove all of the government from all of it, and these businesses are able to do what they want without any oversight, at all, I don't see a problem with that, really.
I don't
Oh,
either.
Because then you can just pick, some businesses will flourish while others fail.
Speaking of DEI, not to make the stream longer, but I got another topic: the Real Gamer Awards, and
Yeah.
the new controversy with it is one of the companies that was able to advertise the game called Solenko or whatever, which looked actually pretty good game. Alyssa Mercante quote tweeted them, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't have racist stuttering Craig promote our game, and we rather lose people than get new followers if they're racist and blah blah blah."
Oh boy, so that's the real game. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about the Real Gamer Awards. I heard it turned out to be a complete shit show, but I hadn't really followed it that much.
No, I heard it was pretty.
It was a pretty good show. They had Angry Video Game Nerd, the guy who was the voice of Duke Nukem. They had like a lot of people or whatever, and I thought it was really well done. And it's all, I think it was proof of concept.
Wasn't his name John St. John?
I forget
that his name.
But I think Stuttering Craig, it's a proof of concept, and if for all those who enjoyed it, next year is going to get better probably, and more people want to get involved.
So this wasn't the person from the Real Video Game Awards though did quote tweet Melissa McConaughey and said and was backing her up, or did I misunderstand you?
No, so basically, in there, if you were one of the judges or people who are like able to vote, you can be like, hey, there's this indie game coming out, and I think we should advertise them on the Real Game Awards. So that's what Stuttering Craig did, right? One of the games happens to be it's called Solenko. It's like a Duke Nukem old school Wolfenstein type of shooter, and it looked pretty good. I put it on my wish list and everything because I was like, oh, this looks awesome. Turns out the developers are like, oh well, you guys are racist and bigots. We don't want you guys promoting us at all. We rather have not new customers and not sell. We'd rather have less sales of the game.
It's in the private chat right now.
Fast forward to like 4 months later.
And I remember seeing this just a few days ago. The little cartoon where it ends with the guy from Duke Nukem talking. That was cool. Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking this was like just some generic bullshit video game.
No,
you were talking about first.
It's Stuttering Craig from Side Scrollers, or if you know from back in the day, Screw Attack. So he had Angry Video Game Nerd launched his new game that's coming out. Angry Video Game Nerd 8-bit, and is also going to be every modern console's PC, and also for the an actual cartridge for the NES that you can actually play.
Oh, holy shit!
So if you click on that, there's more images down on the replies as well. But
okay.
Alyssa McConaughey tweeted out, which is just like, okay, cool. That person just lost a bunch of backers that they just gained from the award show.
Shit.
Which is just like, dude, you can't, like, why would you stop? Like, even if you don't like them, they're just like, hey, this is a cool looking game. Here's the trailer. Why would you be like, oh, I don't want that to be on that YouTube show? It's like,
the gameplay is like old school Doom, Wolfenstein, and Duke Nukem. And if you like the styles like that, you could tell that's what they're going for, old school shooter. And now I was planning to buy the game, but they ain't getting my $15 anymore.
Yep.
Too bad.
Why would you want to align yourself with one of the most caustic, evil people in gaming right now? Nobody likes Alyssa McConaughey except for the establishment. Nobody liked.
Well, I will say
that
person just was quote tweeted by Alyssa. Like, I mean, not like that would change the situation much, but it's basically
they're replying to each other, right? That's what I thought.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
One of them.
By the way, the game, the studio basically was just repeating repeating everything Alyssa would say anyway. So.
Alyssa McConaughey wins.
She wins Video Game Award for Worst Games Journalist.
Good.
By the
way, are any of you a part of the Real Game Awards? Like a member? And a Vagabond, you are, right?
Wait, say that again.
Is anyone here a part of the Real Game Awards?
I forgot to put my money into the B one, but I'll probably do it next year.
Okay, well, so I am. I just did the basic tier. It's just like a yearly thing. Yeah, that was there's a lot.
I
of
only just found out about it. So
Paul Tassi, it was Nick Calandra, Paul Tassi, Alyssa Mercante, and I want to say Alana Pierce. There was a fourth one. They're all four just terrible.
Yeah,
I had
Alana Pierce is pretty terrible.
Yeah, there was an award for.
Yeah.
There was an award for the worst bait and switch, which Concord won.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So it was a good. It was real short. No grandstanding from large corporations or whatever.
Yeah.
Jerking each other off or whatever.
No,
that's pretty cool. I wish I knew about it a little sooner.
Alana Pierce also has been a little bit in the zeitgeist too, because the whole was it God of War thing of her and her writing on that came back up about writing, and it's like you
narrative
definitely
consultant
didn't write
doesn't
on it.
mean a writer. Boom, idiot.
Yeah.
And also, what was she saying? If you're cheering for a project not to work, you're not a real gamer or whatever. It's like, bitch, you haven't.
I think it was a company got shut down or something like that. It's like, yeah, well, they were making bad products. Like, why?
Yeah, another Sweet Baby Inc. project just went down the shitter. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, so apparently the Game Awards is actually threatening to sue the Real Game Awards.
Good fucking luck.
How?
Good luck.
For use of the word Game Awards.
Game Awards? Oh, come on.
Yeah, but it's
called sheer
matter.
stupidity. That's
Well,
why.
You see, this is stuff I needed to know before the show.
I didn't know about this. Yeah.
Didn't Jeff Keighley already try to trademark the Game Awards and they wouldn't, and he couldn't, and he wasn't allowed to? So what does he think he's suing here? What does he think he's going to do?
Well, he probably thinks he can win because he's still in the mindset that their team always wins, especially with litigation, because their side is good and the other side is all, bigots and incels and
I think Stutter and Craig put $10,000 of own money to get this whole thing going.
And to say nothing of all the donations and stuff he's getting, because I mean, again, I'm a member. I voted. It was great. Not like on the board or anything, but there's a bunch of people that you can pay more money to have your vote go further. Which is, I mean, there's a lot of people who are on board here because it may not make millions and millions and millions of dollars, but I mean, we tend to try to stick together in this community, and so when you're going after someone like Stutter and Craig, and especially Blabs, oh, you're fucked.
Well, we need more stuff like that because, I heard the word Game Awards and just automatically assumed it was some bullshit.
No,
because I didn't know enough about this. So
this is YouTubers.
There needs more competition.
Yeah, so it's YouTube. It's all YouTubers. There was Study and Craig. Alec Baldwin's Finger announced one of the awards.
Yeah,
Madam Savvy. Madam Savvy announced some awards.
Is this still on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this tonight.
It's only like an hour long. Smash GT announced an award.
Yeah.
Dude.
Stutter and Craig. James from the Angry Video Game Nerd, he announced an award too. Then also showcased his game. Like I said, it's the NES copies of the game that actually work on an NES systems or anything that can take an NES cartridge. Those will be limited, but you can get Steam, PS4, PS5, Xbox and PC.
It's so cool. Well, on that note, fellas, I think we've burned up just about all the topics we can tonight, but I'm going to rewatch that Game Awards. I want to look a lot more into that. That might be a good topic for next week's show too, kind of keep the momentum going on that.
Yeah. It'll still be relevant.
Oh yeah.
With the way things are going. Yeah.
But let's go ahead and go around the horn and let everybody do their outro and promote whatever you want to promote before we call it a night. We'll start at the bottom there with Battsauce. What you got going on, man?
Yeah, I have a GoFundMe out there somewhere.
Yeah.
No,
it's probably still only got $5, and I have no idea where that $5 came from.
Could have been, yeah. Dude, everyone needs to subscribe to the Iron Seas channel. We have had over 180 subscribers in the past 30 days. So it's just a matter of time. We just keep growing. So join it when we do it now. We have Iron Seed Substack along with that. Just get over to the channel, and from there, do all the other stuff. And buy my book, Tale of the Dunce Whisperer. The funniest thing out there. Just that's a fact.
Absolutely, I got mine. Right over here.
Yeah,
there we go.
Multiple.
All right,
copies, that's
Vagabond,
how
what you got
do it.
going on, man? Well, yeah, I got a couple I haven't sent out to some family yet.
I got a couple game streams coming up. Me Side and another game that just came out yesterday where I met the devs at Anime Week in Atlanta. AI to You. They're both similar where you got a waifu girlfriend trying to kill you pretty much, or yandere or whatever. And then I got a couple other videos coming. One that I filmed in the snow that we had here in Georgia, my part of Georgia, that we normally get no snow. But other than that, I'll be at MegaCon. I'm gonna try to vlog as much as I can and have a video for that. So I was getting ready for that. And other than that, I'll be here next Friday and go from there.
Right on, man. Always good having you. Society, what you got going on, dude?
Nothing really. I got much going on. So I have earlier tonight we did the retro rave of Pokemon with Nerdigan, so go check that one out. I guess Sunday we got the Bible Wins. That'll be a Sunday show. We'll talk more about the Melanie Mack and the John Delarose and the John Trenton on that show specifically. We have the Bar Room on Tuesday. And then, like I said, Movie House, we're still got that one coming up here. I believe next Saturday is when we start that one. So, yeah, we'll got some things coming up on the pike for that. So, that's what I got coming up. And then, Bounding in the Comics. Go check out Bounding in the Comics YouTube and the written stuff that we do on the site as well.
Right on. Yeah, love Bounding in the Comics. Selena?
Oh, let's see. I'm here on Fridays. Occasionally, if I'm not busy. Me and Kira Watches, along with Mr. Berger, do a show on her channel. Kira Watches, go subscribe. I think we're going through an Apple TV show right now. I forgot the name of it. Sorry, Mr. Berger. I guess season 2. I have to catch up myself. But yeah, and then that's pretty much it. I think sometimes I'm on trivia with Mr. Berger as well, and Darnell. But that's about it. And yeah, all I want to say is we have 800 people watching right now on YouTube. If you could please like, share, and subscribe, that would be awesome. You guys are great. And yeah, have a great weekend.
Yeah, help Iron get to 500 subscribers so he can be monetized and quit his job.
Please.
Yes.
As soon as it happens, I will. Consequences be damned. Strider, what you got going on, man?
Still reeling from 800 viewers. That's insane. That's amazing. You can find me every Friday night here at the Weekly Rose Gallery, and then next week is going to be the next edition of the Curse of Strahd with Full Metal Nate, which this guy is also part of, not Jack, but the other guy. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We had a pretty good session last time, a long one. Took forever, but I think Nate has promised some combat next time, so we may be fighting a werewolf or a few. This will be fun.
Yeah, there's reasons why it took so long. Talking to you, Tiny and Darnell.
I hardly did anything that stream. Actually, I was just in the crowd. Everyone else was kind of doing their own thing. I'm like, I don't know where to go. I'm just gonna hang out. I get to flirt with Michelle Pfeiffer. That was pretty fun.
It was. That was entertaining. And last but not least, our guest for this evening, JackTarLad. What you got going on, man? Welcome back.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. You can catch me on Twitter the majority of the time at JackTarLad. It's the same handle all across all my platforms on Rumble, YouTube, at JackTarLad. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do live streams, or at least I'm coming back to do live streams. 8 o'clock GMT. I think that's about 4 p.m. Central, something like that. And on Wednesdays, I do Tomby's midweek chinwag. the Hump Day Chinwag, I think we call it, and that's at 8 o'clock UK time. So about had to carry the 5. Yeah, it's sometime anyway. So come and check us out there. Yeah, we're having great fun doing that show. But yeah, thank you so much for having me back. I love the thumbnail for the show. It makes me kind of look a little bit like Andrew Tate, and my 2 concubines here have been, patiently sucking my cock all night, and later on they'll be doing some live streaming Simps money. So yeah, until the next time we see each other, yeah, thanks for having me, and I guess I'll see you all next time.
Awesome, man. You're welcome back anytime. All right, everybody, we're going to call tonight. It's been a long show, but we'll be back next week. Same time, same channel. Please like and subscribe. You are helping the channel grow. And I would love to, I'm making it a goal to be at 500 before the next F&T meetup, just for bragging rights alone. God, I'm tired. But we may have some show readjustments. Might be adding a show and changing a few things around. So be looking for some announcements there on Twitter. Just follow and I'll keep everybody updated. But we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for hanging out. Talk to you later. Bye.
Take care.
Let me end the stream now.